Got it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunken World Saga. This is a Dungeons and Dragons live stream with 8 players, with 2 characters each. Tonight, we return to the first group of characters we ever streamed with. These characters, unfortunately, due to an error on my end, did not have their first adventure saved. So we will be giving a brief recap and another sort of character introduction when we come back. But before we do that, just to give a little bit more context to the world that we exist in this campaign, I have a brief video which I will play for you now. So we will see you all in about 11 and a half minutes.
There's a reason the trade lands are called such. We invented it. Beside my homeland sits the now shrunken lands of Wotarn. Oh, it's had a few hundred names since the days when its empire held much of the world. Smartest people in the world, Azesha. But you'd be smart too, if the first people to put up walls around a cluster of houses were your ancestors a few thousand years ago. If your kid's talented or smart, that's why you'll be one to send them. If you take trade and commerce seriously, and want to get in good with Shaw. Above Zashan sits a nation that broke off its first empire. Ursamer was carved out a few hundred years ago in a holy war, and it now stands ruled by a council dictated by their priests. With a single god, we're lucky there are many aspects of the big man that different folk in Ursamer pray to. Different sides of one coin with which to trade, hire to fight, or hire to kill. There's more to it than that, but none that matter. Ursamer has many enemies, and no excess of allies. Now the Spicer Coast. Home. You want freedom? Coast is for you. Riches? The place to be. A life on the most beautiful waves the world can conjure? Well, you know where to look. My city, Wotarn, is the young and hungry lion eyeing the king on top of his hill. That's Caspecia. For now. That's where the bulk of the power and the alliance of the Spicer cities lie. Again, for now. There are others, but most of us operate under the same laws. Mainly the law of staying out of each other's way.
The South is difficult to explain to outsiders. They think it hot, that there are too many different groups to keep track of. But in Mana, my brother knows that our difference is our strength, that it is the sun that keeps us alive. In ancient days, the war of tribes made us strong and tempered us for the peace forged by my family. In every other world power, they are limited by infighting, ancient grudges of a people pretending to be one. In Mana, under our king, as once we were beneath the pharaohs of old, before the Zeshan came, we are many peoples standing together. To our north there is the Uthara Desert, and the tribes within serve as a useful buffer to the northern world. They are secretive, patrolling a desert in which anyone else would get lost. Little of them can be seen or known to outsiders, but somehow any time they step out of the dunes to speak with us, they know more about our side of the world than we can expect. To our east lie a pack of jungle nations banded into a kingdom, a shadow of our own. Young though they are, we know that we cannot ignore the threat they present. In battle they are fierce, and in trade they are deadly. No nation in the world ignores their goods, or their contracts. They will, however, be brought to heel. They're so worried about the color of their clothing, and what it means for their priests, that they can't keep focus very long on anything important. The Jade Kingdoms is a name given to our lands by what is now Zashan millennia ago. The first thing traded between us and the First Empire was a pot of jade, so that is what they called us for thousands of years. But we don't worry. Let them call us what they like, and all their gold can become ours. My land, Shuhan, is the most powerful in the region. We are not constantly at war with ourselves, aside from a failed coup d'etat a few years ago, and our hand is within each region of Walhar, be it by trade or cultural deployment. None can resist what a Shu-Han merchant or storyteller brings before them. Though Jashan perhaps puts down trade laws in writing, they are born within the walls of the imperial palace. And they would have to be. All lands but two owe a great debt to our empire. Those lands are Jashan and Shu-Han itself. What makes Shu-Han work is not the blood in your veins given to you by your mother and father, but the fact that the sweat of those on the bottom rung actually get them somewhere. Much could be said about the land of Onkol. It has been at war with itself for some time, religious problems giving rise to civil unrest. The Sultan rules, and serves as a valuable ally to the Emperor of Shu-Han, but he fights with priests of two different faiths for the sins of his father. Too much to control, and with resources spread too far to control it. Still, it is a beautiful nation, and pieces they place around Walhard move in most unpredictable ways. The Dazistrian steppe is home to nomads who ride horses and unleash clouds of arrows that spell death to any they find. They raid in Jashan, Onkol, and even in Shu-Han. Luckily, they're just as likely to fight each other, and through a few supplies or weapons can be convinced to start new clan feuds. So the surrounding nations have always had one shared agreement that will never break. Keep the clans at each other's throats, because if they ever unified, the world would be theirs in the time it took their horses to ride to each corner.
On Wester Island, my people have lived for thousands of years alongside the Mishato, the Kiatoi, and the many groups of the South. Now the South has been absorbed by the Zolka, a group who came from a land as large as Walharn when they lost too many wars and found space they could find many victories. They have taken the mountain, the jungles, the plateaus, and absorbed the peoples they conquer into their ranks. An army with great power, better organized, and with wealth enough to trade with lands on the continent they've never seen. They expand and build and take in everything they find. If my people weren't strong, they would terrify me. My people are the Hakote. Once three tribes of humans, orcs, and elves, we came together in the face of the southern threat when they arrived. Once we were the Ha, the Ko, and the Te. Now we are one. Stories passed back by mercenaries and law speakers from my tribe that travel to the continent tell of nomads, riding tribes in flatland on the mainland of Walharn. And one thing is as true there as it is for the Hakote. Speed, the saddle, these are life. Without them we are lost. Without them we are the same as the people going around on their feet. And those people are for raiding. Like the Kiatoi. Forest people. Like us, they used to be many tribes, but came together in confederation when their forest began to die. One tribe, a tribe of wood elves, had the solution to save them. So the humans and dwarves and halflings agreed to follow them. If I were them, I'd have picked a tribe to lead that was better at fending off a few hundred Hakote on horseback. And finally, to the west, there's the Mishato. Mysterious fuckers. You can sometimes find them out in their villages, but most of them keep in the cliff villages against the great mountain, or stay below it. They're not too bad. Some of the prisoners we can take on raids pass a few poems around, and they're not too bad to listen to either. My father thinks we should start calling them our allies. Fight with them against the Zolka. I'm not sure I agree.
If you have to ask why the Green Kingdoms are called such, then you have clearly never been. Nowhere has better farmland or more beautiful scenery than Dasiro or our former rulers, the Hallandor Empire. Perhaps below the Artashan Mountains, the dwarves even grow in green gardens. We have no way of knowing. Artashan is the only kingdom in the world that is a single race. The dwarves there once were great friends to the entire world, but have drawn back of late. Now the only outsiders let below the mountain are traders from Axum in the south, and what the dwarves are doing below, well, they're not telling. Hallandor is the most dangerous nation in the entire world. Millions upon millions of trained soldiers, an infrastructure 1,000 years old, and a religion with no compunction toward killing. So they've grown in the last few decades again. They have never recovered from their greatest loss, Dasiro, their northern neighbor. All the columns and togas in the world won't make their elven emperors forget that. In my country, Dasiro, we are bound by ancient structures of honor. Our faith in the Holy Twins keeps us on a righteous path, and one that does not believe in the excess of the Hallandor Empire. Our knights defend our king, even when he is a sickly little boy like my younger brother. The peasants clamor at the feet of our nobility, as is natural, and new nobility defends the old to earn or secure their place in court. But greater than any trade or art we gift the world is our holding back of the savages to our north in the form of the Yorn. They have always raided south, but our soldiers and knights keep them from reaching south of us by land.
Yorn is a land of heathen tribes that seek blood simply to see it run out of the bodies of the defenseless. Savages that ride on foot or by their long boats. They killed my people for generations of autumns and springs. You'll find all the races save for halflings and elves, but don't expect an orc from Yorn to let an orc from Hallandor off easy in a raid. Their way is killing. Even when they were conquered by a white dragon for hundreds of years, still they killed millions. Now, because of my father, they are free, but still they raid and kill and worship their disgusting gods. My kingdom, Dalryoth, was founded by refugees from devastation millennia ago. We were a people who cowered from the raids coming from our west and begged for help from the people from the south. Help never came, until at once my father received word from new gods, and found the scattered fangs and scales of a silver dragon defeated by the white who ruled the Yorn tribes. My father forged the hammer I now wield, and struck the dragon down, becoming ruler of a new land changed by the Light Father and Light Mother. The South never helped us when we needed it, but now they will receive my aid. Aid in the form of salvation from eternal hell. In their worship of disgusting heathen gods, they risk hellfire. The fire I bring will seem like a hot day if they do not submit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunken World Saga post little video. So what we have just seen, that's going to be the last time we play that, but it is available on our YouTube channel that exists. I think it's the only thing that shows up when you type in Sunken World Saga. There's not a lot of YouTube videos about that book from 1927.
YouTube.com/sunkenworld/PetSmart, right?
Well, that's if you want to get great deals on your pet's food and
Gotcha.
toys. But so, hey, tonight we are going back to the first of our two adventuring groups. That is the group that consists of Biff, Jackson, Khalid, and Zakar. They are currently in the Jade Kingdoms, as it is on certain maps. They are right here. More specifically, they are within Shuhan in this little village. And let me move your all's ribbon so that we go to the proper map for you all. Because I said I would do that first thing and then didn't. While I do that, why don't you all introduce yourselves, your real name and then your character name. And we will start with Zach.
I'm Zach Harmon. I'm playing Biff Treedeedle. I am a halfling bard who is flirtatious, ostentatious, and bodacious. I like to play the dulcimer. I like to have intercourse with everyone that will possibly have me. And I like to entertain my friends.
All right. Then why don't you introduce yourself, Nathaniel?
I'm Nathaniel Potts Wells, and I am playing the human wizard, Jackson Pars. He is a deviant in many ways, and is the most ridiculous magic user you'll ever meet.
And then we have your character, Brian.
I'm Brian Ziola, and my character is a paladin of the Lord, named Khalid Al-Aznar. And he likes to have good times praying, putting his hands in holy water. Brisses, I don't know. He's just a fun party guy. And this is my Brian voice. This is my Khalid voice. Probably not. But that's me.
Okay. And finally, Aaron, your character.
Hey, I'm Aaron Hetzer, and I'm playing Zikar, who is a less religious ranger who follows the five-armed god. And both my character and I have a very large mustache.
That is very true. So, all of you, we are going to do a brief recap of our first session. Does anyone feel confident in describing that session 2 whole weeks ago?
Well, we started at a fair or carnival sort of ordeal. There's some music playing, some jugglers, I believe.
Yes.
Our paladin bested a champion arm wrestler, which kind of sparked his group to go north of the city, and they ended up being a trap, as we suspected all along. They were going to try to feed us to some, were they trolls? Orcs?
Ogres.
Ogres, yes. They were going to try to feed us to ogres, but we humiliated them pretty handily before we came back to the town and had some drinks at the tavern, where there was almost a bar fight, but we managed to avoid it, and Biff slept with a beautiful stall vendor.
Who Biff...
A little man.
Yes, his attraction was sparked by it being a little man. Not a halfling like Biff, but a
Yeah,
human.
but as I am also a little man, so I was drawn to like.
Okay. Yeah, that pretty much gets at it.
There were some rumblings of the Lord of Storms, right?
There was.
That was the boss of the ne'er-dwells that tried to capture us.
Yeah, the
Big bad,
the
perhaps.
brigands who drew you out claimed that they were essentially getting feed for the ogres of the Lord of Storms.
We interrogated one of them. Did we find out where the Lord of Storms was based? I don't remember exactly.
Yes, you did. You found out that he is based in a old fort between Fiyang, the city that you were currently in, and Azo Yuan.
Okay.
And then you all did go to the tavern. Khalid tried to start a bar fight and was not entirely successful until he really tried, and then Zakar managed to kind of stop him, but also Khalid continually threatening the person he was talking to. That helped.
He was asking for it.
But
And I think we're trying to get like an audience with the mayor or leader of this town, right?
yes, you got some information that basically made it seem like, oh, if you wanted to deal with this, you would be handsomely rewarded.
Okay.
Who critically we impressed
Love
through
a
the puzzle.
handsome reward.
Critically,
Right,
yes,
well-
you did. Very critical to this. You did impress the what's his name? Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr.
Mayor
Mayor.
Quimby.
But it
And we got our
is-
first PetSmart sponsorship that day.
Mayor PetSmart.
We did have our first PetSmart membership, or sponsorship, and now it is the morning. I have been told that someone did something last night.
Well, as the group noticed when they came upstairs, Jackson was seemingly praying using a symbol very similar to Khalid's holy symbol, only it was glowing, but he was doing it over a magic sigil that he chalked on the ground, and he summoned his a familiar while in prayer with Alzad, he was able to connect to that realm and pull across a familiar from that divine plane. And it is a beetle, just a black desert beetle, but the edges of its carapace, like where its wings are hard and stuff like that, has a faint silver to it.
Is it a dung beetle?
Not quite, but pretty close, yeah.
Okay, nice.
And I'll just use spider stats for its stat bar.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I just got back to the tavern map from another map and see that Biff is not there, which is a little worrying.
Well, I spent the night with Dude. I didn't spend the night in the tavern, so
That's true. They were with.
well, I guess we'll say this. I'm back with them.
Yeah, and it is the early morning.
Sorry, but another thing that Jackson Pars did first thing in the morning is he set up his chemistry set and took out the teeth and ogre's blood that he got from the ogres we defeated. And he attempts to make something that he calls a potion of ogre strength. And this is my idea, and you can decide on it, Ben. But I think that depending on how well I roll is the consequence of what the potion becomes. So if it's a natural 1, it's just pure toxicity.
I would say natural 1 is it explodes and you take damage.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then so anything 5 down to that it's just pure toxic.
I think so, yeah.
Anything from 6 to 10, it would be it doesn't give the strength bonus that I was hoping. I'm hoping that it will give a +2 strength checks.
Michael's secret stuff
for a period of time. But it would also have negative effects, so negatives to intelligence and or charisma checks. So what is it? 2 to 5, it would just be toxic. 6 to 10, it would be it would not get it would not give strength bonuses. It would just give the -1 to both intellect and charisma checks. 10 to 15, it would give +1 and then -1 to both of the others. And then 15 to 20, it gives +1 to strength checks and -1 to just int or charisma checks, like one or the other. And then above 20 is +2 to strength checks and the -1 to one of the mine.
Yeah, that sounds good. I am gonna say there are 2 numbers in that mix that if you roll them, it's gonna have different. It's gonna be different.
Understood.
Otherwise, go ahead and make that. I'd say just straight intelligence.
Well, I have chemistry supplies, so
okay.
I'm gonna roll on them.
Well,
25.
All right. So you get the best version of that potion.
So we can agree that it's +2 to strength checks.
Yeah.
What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be intelligence or charisma that it gives a -1 to?
I'm gonna say -1 intelligence.
Okay. -1 intelligence checks. And how long do you want it to last if it's imbibed?
I'm gonna say 4 hours, or no, just 4 hours.
Okay, I typed it into the chat, into the Roll20 chat.
Okay. So Jackson has a absolutely disgusting vial of what looks like greenish blood. Still mostly red, but with just a green tint to it that makes it look like somebody bled into Mountain Dew.
And there are shavings of
shavings. Shavings is worse
ogre
than
teeth
powder.
inside of it, floating in it.
All right, that's what you got.
While this is going on, I'm probably doing my morning prayers, and I imagine that there's a lot of singing involved in it, just for context.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, cut us off a few bars of it. What's it sound like?
Well, I'm not as good of a singer as what Potts
It's just
character was.
it's just the opening of Tarzan Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, we probably
Um,
shouldn't sing that, huh?
It's
Whoops.
fine. If PetSmart can't touch us, who can?
Whoever sang Tarzan Boy can't either.
Baltimore. Okay, so it's the morning.
I imagine it's maybe a little earlier than people want to wake up, and it's very loud.
I would say so, yeah, for sure. So you have already turned the tavern against you.
Yeah, fair enough.
The early morning, and you all make it downstairs at the same time. Or in from someone else's house. And I'll actually say, Biff, you saw a legion of soldiers from the Hallandor Empire were staying in town with tents outside. Seems like they arrived
Okay.
last night after you went to sleep.
All right, I will communicate that information to my friends, and I'm going to order. Is there like a Bloody Mary type drink here at this bar?
Yes, there is, says the barkeep.
Okay. Yeah, let me get a couple of those. I had a few steins of vodka, and I'm pretty small, so. Oh wait, that's not my voice. And I'm pretty small, so yeah, I'll take a couple of those just to get some hair of the dog in me.
Sounds good. Let me get to work on that. And they run off and start mixing, looks like a very small amount of liquor in with a, kind of like, it looks like they're pouring something out of a urn. Like it looks almost like olive oil.
Okay.
Anything else for the rest of you?
What? Say, friend, what's in that urn there? What are you pouring into this drink?
Olive oil.
Oh, I thought it looked like that.
Yes, it sounds a bit strange, but really it does cut through it a bit.
Oh, whatever you got, I'll have.
They shake it. Say, anybody else want anything? Any drinks? Any food?
I would like one full pitcher of purified water.
When you say purified, what do you mean? By a priest or?
No, just clean.
Okay. I suppose I could send someone to the well outside of town.
Seems dirty.
But boiling what you have, maybe that could help.
Well, all right. I'll get one hot water coming up.
And then cool it off.
And I don't have ice.
Well,
Anyone know Ray of Frost? I guess not.
hit it with the poison spray.
That's a plain
Unpurified water.
smell.
And that'll be all. Thank you.
You said there were some soldiers outside, Biff. But wait, how was your night last night, by the way?
Oh, it was dehydrating, I'll say that much. But I believe a good time was had by all, and I made sure that my partner was taken care of before I ever was. So I think we both had a pretty good time.
All right.
That's pretty
Zach, I
generous.
need to ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Does Biff need to make a deception check?
No, I think he's genuinely pretty interested in making sure that's the case. So.
All right, nice.
But yeah, there are some. I said from Hallandor.
Hallandor, yes.
Hallandor. Yeah, I saw the banners of Hallandor flying just outside of town. It looks like there's some tents set up and some soldiers camping out for a little bit at least.
Did you notice any of them in the city or town?
Did I notice any of them in the city or town?
You did. It is early enough in the morning that soldiers, in most cases, would probably need to be up and about. And it seems like the commanding officer was in the center of town speaking to the mayor.
Yeah, it looks like the guy in charge. He has the biggest headdress on his helmet. He looks like he was talking to me. Sorry if I'm ruining your.
No, I will need to tell you that is specifically untrue.
Okay.
He, in fact, had the smallest headdress on because he's a halfling.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it looks like there's a halfling in charge, which I'm all for. But looks like he was talking to the mayor this morning, so we might have to wait a bit for our audience. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, we can catch Mr. Mayor there. while he's in the town center. We don't need to barge into his home or anything. That's good.
That's true.
Should we finish up breakfast and head that way?
I'm ready to go as soon as you guys are.
I'm prepared.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. So you all take your boiled, then kind of cooled off water. And
That's good water.
and
Lukewarm.
olive oil, Mary. You take your Popeye with you out into the main center. Now, I'm going to tell you all, before you react, the large tokens are just a representation of many soldiers.
Okay.
No, fight him.
Roll for initiative. there's two
Dragons.
There are not any dragons. I just heard somebody's background audio just reacted. Very large. But you all look out and you can see the mayor who you spoke to the night before talking to a very short, even shorter than Biff, halfling in Legionnaire's armor and a silver helmet.
At least these soldiers aren't eating apples.
There are so many people not eating apples. The apple eaters are outnumbered.
We don't use those words here on the stream, Ben.
The apple eaters. The pejorative for people from Wisconsin.
No, that's just Albany, right?
Yeah.
I guess it would be Massachusetts, because that's where Johnny Appleseed's from. Anyway, no need to degrade a person who has a very litigious family.
Vagrant.
But you all enter the town, and you do see what Biff described. Many, many soldiers, and then obviously a commanding officer speaking to a person with authority in the town.
Should we wait our turn, or you guys want to interrupt? I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, let's just see what's going on. I'll start walking in that direction.
I'm interested in what these headdresses are about.
So their helmets are basically, they are sort of like the Jeshen helmets that would be more familiar to Biff and Jackson. And I mean to Zakar, probably. Although Zakar and Khalid lived on a border with Alandor, so they probably are just like, this is a standard helmet. But it's sort of a bell shape, but then with leather straps to cover the cheeks, and what looks like a push broom bristles from the forehead to the very back of the helmet.
Real Marvin the Martian vibe going on.
Yeah. And they are all sort of milling about with each other, kind of talking, seemingly making breakfast at small fires with about 11 men at each. But the halfling is talking to the mayor, and it doesn't seem like they're talking about anything particularly important, so you don't get the sense when you approach that you are interrupting anything.
All right. I mean, I can. I'm pissed off the dog. I can approach them if you guys want me to, and see what's up. See if we can get an audience with the mayor here.
Yeah, go for it, Biff. You have a skilled tongue. Sorry, here.
I'll approach and say, "Hello, fellow halfling. It's wonderful to see you here. You have a business with the mayor? I think we do as well. Perhaps we can work together to achieve our goals."
He turns and looks up just slightly at you and smiles and says, "Oh, hello, friend halfling. It is a pleasure to see you here. I do not find many halflings in human villages."
Yes, Biff Tree Needle, and I bow even as low as I possibly can. I say, you might recognize my family name. We are crafters of fine woodworking in the Zeshan province, as you can see from my rapier. Maybe you'd like to let us in on what you guys are doing here.
There is not much that we are doing now. We are finishing a tour in the border with the Dajistrian steppe tribes.
And
fighting
were
them
you
back on
successful?
behalf of the emperor of these lands, Shuhan. I would say it was successful. We did not lose many men and spent about 2 years eating good food, sleeping, fighting every day.
Oh, that sounds like the life to me. So do you have business with the mayor as well? Could we steal him away from you for a little bit, or
No,
were
we
you?
were just discussing, and the mayor cuts in and says, whether his men can stay on the border of the town. I suppose so, just as long as they don't cause any trouble. And
He looks like a fine, upstanding fellow. I don't think these soldiers will cause you any due harm.
the halfling nods and says, they will not. No, not at all. Well, Biff, Trinity, if you ever need help from another halfling, Tiberius Volturia is always happy to help. And he gives you a salute, where he basically puts a fist against his forehead, and then bows slightly. And then he turns and walks back to his men.
See you later, friend.
Gives you a little wave over his shoulder. Mayor turns to you and says, yes, what is it, Mr. Tree Needle?
Well, my friends and I point back to them and so he knows who I'm talking about. We encountered an interesting group of some brigands last night after the fair. They wanted to feed us to some ogres and said that they were under the employ of the Lord of Storms. We're just wondering if maybe you guys might need some help with them. We're quite accomplished adventurers. Perhaps that we could assist you in taking care of a threat to your town. I don't know.
Yeah, his eyes go wide and his face goes white. And he says, I did not think we would have anyone brave enough to challenge the Lord of Storms here in town. I was considering asking Tiberius if he and his men might be willing to help. But if you are willing, I would certainly appreciate the aid.
Yeah, well, maybe we can work together with Tiberius, but I think, we're pretty capable. His underlings didn't seem to pose as too much of a threat, so maybe he won't be too much of a challenge for us either.
I think he is a different beast entirely.
I see. Do you have any insight?
What kind of a beast would that be?
Yeah.
You all recall when you were interrogating your prisoner, that he told you that the Lord of Storms was a giant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, but is it a heel giant, a stone giant, a storm giant? It is the Lord of Storms.
A San Francisco giant? Is that a thing? I don't know sports.
That's a thing.
I've used a divination spell to say yes, that is a team in the future. In a faraway land.
It's probably not a team in the future, says the mayor, since there is no Catholicism in this world. But he stops himself, and then he says, he has been known to bring lightning with him on the rare occasion he leaves his fort.
Probably
Well,
a storm giant, maybe a cloud giant.
it's all good info. How much were you thinking of paying this whole army to take care of him? I'm sure we could do it for much less.
Well,
Or the same amount. I mean, we don't want to start off in such a weak position here, Biff.
Yeah, we do need to tie it to the many-armed god.
The 5 arms god.
Well, I don't.
The Hallandor Empire and Shuhan are allies, and I'm sure that the Emperor, my Emperor, would be willing to pay a rather handsome sum to Centurion Tiberius and the Empire itself for their aid. I could pay you from my own personal pocket.
Okay.
500
are,
gold?
are they here to deal with the storm of?
No.
Hold on. How much did you say?
Were you going to offer for them to do it?
I can offer you personally 500 gold.
Sounds
Be
like a lot.
pretty hefty.
Decent amount of gold.
They are only passing through. They are.
Let me. Let me.
Are you talking before he finishes?
Let me speak to my companions for a second. Yeah, sorry. Let me talk this over with my companions real quick. We'll be right back to you with an answer. I kind of pull him off to the side here. Okay, guys, we could maybe play both angles on this. If we get this guy's gold, we could do that, and then enlist the aid of the army here, which would make it much easier, and perhaps they would give a cut of theirs to us as well.
But I like it. That sounds great. Although I suspect that we would be able to take care of it on
Yeah.
our own.
I'm fine with that. That's clever.
Yeah, but if we get the full 500 from him, we could also get a cut of the Empire's loot from the other, perhaps.
I think a storm giant is quite the task, I would think.
Yeah, I'm about as big as his pinky toe, so I'm not super confident on my own abilities, but I do appreciate your own.
I'm sure that we could.
I'm
Khalid,
not saying it's impossible. I mean, I am a true magic user.
what does that mean?
Well, I'm not some phony wizard.
I mean, we could also try to take care of it ourselves and get rewards from both this guy and the Emperor before Tiberius makes it back.
I just have faith in our abilities. They seem to be quite powerful. Khalid and I have killed many bandits. These don't seem much different.
Yeah, and I died twice last time.
Look at him now.
Oh, you died?
Yes, I
The other
died.
side, like, what was it like? I bring out my notebook.
I'll tell you what. You won't be getting in.
Well, I don't know. That's not what Asnar was telling me in prayer last night.
Okay. How many times have you prayed today?
Does last night count?
Nope.
Oh, just last night.
So none.
Right, no, not today.
All right. Well,
But I did get this, and I hold out my hand, and a beetle runs out my sleeve and onto my palm. I snatched this while I was in prayer with him. It was sitting right by his feet in his plane of existence. I lured it in when he wasn't looking.
I walk over here for a moment.
I don't know how well Khalid is taking to that kind of talk, Jackson.
What? I'm not saying anything bad
You
against
said
his
that you
goddess.
learned something away from this
Goddess-
god. Maybe just soften the language that you use.
Hey, Kath, can we talk about this god stuff later? I think this guy's waiting for her answer here. What do you guys want to do?
I'd
Surely you can
rather.
wait for the gods.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's anything like me, maybe not.
I don't think Asnar would appreciate lying. I don't know why that was the option.
Who's lying? We could. We don't have to necessarily lie. We can take care of it ourselves and get the reward from both.
Get the
I think
reward
the-
from both.
The Empire would be happy for us to take care of such brigands.
No, I agree with solving the issue, of course.
Wouldn't that be more money for your god who needs money for some reason?
No, my god needs money. I don't know
Yeah.
what his god needs.
Yeah, my god does not need money. My god is very rich. I go back over here for a moment.
Okay. How about this? And I approach the mayor again. So, okay, I think we can. I think we can handle your problem here for your aforementioned sum of 500 gold. But we'll also need access to maybe some supplies you guys have in town. If you guys have any weapons or food or provisions or anything that we could take with us, that would be greatly appreciated, and we could make sure that we take care of the storm giant for you.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 13.
I cannot take everything of value that the people of my town have from them. But I can talk to a few people. See
You
if
don't have
they
any
know.
leftovers from the fair? We just had a big carnival here. It seems like there'd be something.
Food. I can have food provided for you. That is
Throwing
not
stars?
problem.
No throwing stars or size or
I
Arms.
will talk
switchblade
to.
combs? Do you have a switchblade comb, maybe?
I will talk to a smith and see about getting you a switchblade comb. But I cannot guarantee that everyone will be willing to part with their possessions.
Well, that's okay. Just let us know. We'll be in town until you tell us to depart.
I urge you to seek the help of the Legion. I will still be speaking to Commander Tiberius to see if he's willing to
Okay, we'll definitely keep that in mind.
help. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, is there an orphanage or anything of the like in town? Perhaps a
No.
family that takes care of children?
No. There is the Yang family. They have taken in a few orphans from the coup d'état a few years ago, left in the wake of a few battles. That's the closest I would call to it.
Can you point me towards them?
Yes, and he points towards not this building, but a building that is behind it.
Well, thank you. I'm sure that we'll take care of the storm giant with no issue.
I do urge you to accept help, but
No, it's fine. We're very strong.
all right. I appreciate your courage and your confidence, but it is it would probably be helpful to you to have some help.
I think he's right. Will you guys help me?
I think we can play both angles here. Personally, I think we can get Tiberius's help and a little bit extra cash too.
I trust you to make that happen.
All right.
Yeah. Here's the deal, Biff. Don't tell me anymore what you're gonna do.
But I want to make sure I'm open with all my friends.
I'm gonna tell you no.
Do you disagree, Quali?
I don't understand why we would be taking money from two different places for one job.
Well, we're helping two different groups of people, though.
It's the value of our labor. Surely you want us to be fairly compensated for our labor.
And the money will go to a good
You're not
cause.
some sort of worshiper of capital, are you?
No, I do not worship capital. I worship Asnar.
I
He's
worship
very-
lower cases.
Well, then, yeah, I think, I mean, more money for us means more money for Asnar. You can't tithe without, oh, your tithe will be more if we have more money, correct?
I'm gonna pray for a moment.
Okay.
So, while Quali is praying, I'll say he doesn't need to know we're double dipping. We'll just say the mayor paid us a little more.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to fall for that now.
I mean, he suggested that you just don't tell him, so we can just do that from now on.
Okay, that's fine. Should we go talk to Tiberius?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So we'll head over that way.
Okay. You head over that way, and Tiberius is
Get out of
talking-
me!
Tiberius is talking to someone who looks like probably a quartermaster. Just sort of not really built like a soldier. Maybe they used to be, and they have a number of lists. And he kind of sends them off as you all approach.
This man is very large.
I'm sorry? Is that
No,
a joke?
no,
Because I am small?
nope.
He smiles up at you and says, I am... Oh, this is the whole army.
I know.
Okay.
Hey, you brought it in the role play. Now I got to go with it. Yes, and I'm sorry.
Right. How can I help you?
Yeah. In your talks with the mayor, did he happen to mention anything to you about the Storm Lord or some trouble he's having?
Yes. Quite tragic, I think.
Yes, we do as well. As a matter of fact, we were thinking about maybe helping him out with it, and I believe that you and the forces of your army might make that go extra smooth, perhaps, if you guys are up to it.
Perhaps, there are a few things that trouble me to think of it, but I can't say I feel very good leaving the people of this village and a few others at the afraid of this giant.
What makes you hesitant to tackle this giant?
A giant is very dangerous. It would be putting my men at risk when they are excited to go home after some time.
Is there perhaps a ballad in this land that might be about a warrior slaying a giant that these people might know that I can play for them to kind of give them some inspiration?
Yeah, there would be.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do a little performance here for them. Be like, hey, just if you're too worried about it, just remember Rathgar and his ability to slay the storm giant. Play him.
And then you do a performance check.
Oh, Jesus Christ, my rolls are bad.
It's not your finest.
Utterly average.
Yeah, it's just it's there. Some of the soldiers are like, oh, we haven't heard a song like that in a while. And he kind of smiles and says, I am... To be honest, I've never fought a giant. I am interested to see if I would do very well or if I would do poorly.
Well, to us, everyone's a giant, right? You know, I'm just gonna give him a nudge. Be like, hey, you're fighting giants all the time, right?
Then imagine how big a giant will be in front of us compared to, and he kind of indicates to the three regular-sized people behind you, Biff, and says, as opposed to our friends here.
Well, that just means he's easier to dodge. We can fit in the space between his toes.
You're really obsessed with these giant toes, aren't you, Biff?
Hey, don't kink shame me.
Biff, make a persuasion check.
Okay. There we go.
Wait him to take his feet out them shoes.
And Tiberius smiles and says, all right, you at least have me. But I will see how many of my men are feeling up to it, and we will join you.
I mean, even if we can just get half, maybe half can stay behind and defend the city while we strike out on our own.
I think that is good, but I will not take any of my men who are not willing to face down a giant.
I get it.
Well, if you all head there today, perhaps my men could join you by nightfall. After you scout the area.
Look at my friends and say, are you guys ready to head out? Maybe we can take care of this tomorrow?
It seems like a great idea. How can we contact you or know that you're here?
I will, he says, one moment. And he walks about he walks past you all into the center of town, and he holds up his arm. And after a few moments, you see a small red eagle fly down, like basically from the sun, so that the sun covered its approach. This eagle descends and lands on his arm, and if he was not a jacked little halfling, it probably would really wear down his arm. And he turns and he smiles and says, "I will send Julius. Once you see him, there are no birds like him in these country."
Have you ever seen anyone summon their like animal spirits like that before?
I think that is your all's choice, whether your characters would have been around someone who is powerful and well-traveled enough to have a soul bond animal that they express.
Okay. Say as a Sean, I'd seen my fair share of people passing through, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I think I would have encountered several people and
Yeah, this
Look
isn't
into
nearly
it.
as impressive as you thought it was, Ben. We've all seen this before.
I've never
Just wanted to
seen
make sure.
this before. What is going on?
Nothing special, my friend. It is just Julius will fly to you and alert you that we approach.
Well,
Excellent.
that sounds good to me.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Right. Well, I will start getting my men ready.
All right, we'll meet you there.
Okay. So, is there any preparation that you all would like to do, or would you like to go and speak to the mayor right away?
I would just drop off the 42 gold at the Yang
Do you need
family.
anything?
Yeah. They are very grateful, but a bit confused.
Okay, and I would just say like it's the blessing of the 5 arms.
Thank you. Thank you. You've done these children good.
I imagine this is pretty heavy. Can I get rid of this club hammer? Can I try to sell that to someone?
Yeah, you could go to the smith in town.
Hello, child.
What?
I have sales for you.
The blacksmith turns away from the bellows, and you see that it is a dwarf with white hair and a long white beard. Child?
My son? Child of the Lord.
I've been working metal since before your grandfather was born. Don't call me
Hey.
child, boy.
Maybe the metal's been working you.
Metal doesn't work me, I work metal. Why don't you watch your mouth?
You look pretty hammered. I have a thing to sell you.
Alright, what do you have to sell me, child?
This is automatically not a good relationship. Look at this thing, and I fill his table with the size of this club hammer.
This is not terrible.
It's pretty good, huh?
I could give you about, call it 40 gold.
40 gold. I think you can do a little bit better than that.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah, because he hates me now. That's right.
How about 40 gold, child?
Yeah, I'll take your 40 gold.
Very well.
What about these swords?
Most of the swords that he have seem to be short swords. He does have a few longer swords. They're all Jian style swords.
Oh no, I mean the ones I stole off the bodies.
Okay.
The scimitars.
Scimitars, yeah.
Yeah, mostly scimitars. He looked at them and he kind of tilts his head to both sides and he says, 5 gold each.
And how many do you think there were? 4? 5?
I believe there were like 3.
Okay, 3. Sounds good to me. I'll take 15 gold.
All right, there you go.
All right. As I walk out, I say, "See you later, kiddo." And I'm gone. You can't say anything back.
He has to mute his microphone to keep his dogs from blowing out everybody's headphones.
Yeah, angry dogs.
He before you leave, he does say, "If you see any outsiders, send them my way. I'm supposed to give them something."
Just outsiders? Any outsider you're supposed to give some outsider? Any
There's
outsider?
4 adventurers who were foolish enough to go and try to fight a giant. I'm supposed to give them my prized possession.
Oh, that's me.
Really?
I'm of those men.
Why don't you come back when you have 3 others? I don't know if I believe you, though.
I walk out the door. Hey, guys, can you come inside here?
Yeah, we step in.
Yeah, how much gold did you get?
I got 55 gold. Yeah, I gotta split that, I guess.
And 11 to
Well, first we do the 10%.
20.
Well, no, let's do that after we split it up. How about it?
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry.
Wait, what?
Let's split it, and then you guys can tie it. I don't
Well,
need to
there's
tie it.
it's already in 5s. It makes sense.
Yeah,
It just
I
makes it
guess.
easier. 11 for the 5 arms, and then everyone else gets 11. That's fair. You think you're worth more than a god, Biff?
I do, yes.
Well,
I mean,
I guess
to be
you're not
fair,
going
none
to
of us
heaven
went to
either.
bed with Biff last night. We'll have to talk to the gentleman that he was hanging with.
Can you
I
all
encourage you to do so.
either leave the front of my shop or come inside?
We'll come in.
No, I don't have 4 guys, or I'm not. Shit. Not,
Well, you just cursed. You're gonna have to pray for hours to get rid
no,
of that.
my god curses.
Oh, he's a cool like Hot Topic style god.
He's
Yeah.
a cool dad, God.
Yeah. He's a pastor that plays rock and roll music.
Whenever Khalid prays for some money, his God gives it to him by shaking his hand and slipping him some coins.
Nice.
So you all
So why are we inside?
enter. Right. You all going to... What are you going to fight? Somebody other than the fella in the mask. Tell me.
We're going to
A
fell
storm giant.
A storm giant, of course.
All right. He says, and he turns around.
I could have just said it. You wouldn't have seen my lips moving. I'm just saying.
All right.
Wearing a mask.
Don't stop it. And he goes over and there is a long wooden case. It's like a cherry red case. And it is about as like wide as a guitar, but it is much longer. Probably about 5 feet. And he
Wow, that's
flips up
much
2
larger than
latches and pushes it up. And he pulls out a guandao. It's similar to a glaive. It'll be the same stats as a glaive. But it is a sort of long blade at the end of a pole. And it's a single-edged blade that curves as it gets closer to the top. And you see that this one is incredibly finely made. It looks like it is like hardened bamboo, so that there is a little bit of movement as he lifts it. Not a lot. It seems like he's kind of putting on a show to get it to move. And you can see that at the point where the haft ends and the blade begins, there is the face of a dragon that opens up, and from its mouth comes the blade. The dragon is sort of silvery blue tinted. And he walks forward, and as a dwarf, it's much taller than he is, but he puts the butt of the haft down into the ground, and you can see that this is a incredibly well-made weapon. He says, "Here you go."
That looks like some good shit, boys. I can't wield it, certainly, but looks like one of you, Ranger or Paladin, perhaps can.
I made this potion last night that might help you too, whoever uses it. And I hold up the toxic green with floating things in it. Jar.
I prefer to stay at a distance. Perhaps you could use this, Khalid?
I can attempt to.
I mean, it's pretty cool. If you don't want it, I'll give it a try.
If you would like to.
If nothing
go
else, we
for
can
it.
take it to the next town and sell it for a hefty sum.
I wouldn't.
All right,
go for
I worked for a year to create this, but that's fine.
Hey, you didn't hear me.
I mean,
You
what's a
didn't hear
year to somebody that's been making metals since before our grandfathers were born?
You weren't here for that.
You weren't here for that. That's true.
I
Oh,
said
my
that-
beetle
that-
had
that's
snuck in and
stealthy.
was listening.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, he did hear you, Biff.
that. Okay.
But out of character, I think it's better for the paladin, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll look it over.
As soon as you pick it up, you feel like there is some inherent magic to the weapon. But that's all you can glean from holding it. And it is a +1 weapon.
Okay.
Can you tell us what sort of magic this might be imbued with, sir?
It can... If somebody's holding a shield to you, blade moves a bit unpredictably. It's by design. Had a wizard friend of mine cast a blur spell on the haft as I worked it. So, if you're fighting somebody with a shield, he might not know exactly where you're putting the blade when it comes to a stop.
That's pretty
That
cool.
does sound handy.
So essentially that, in play terms, means that it ignores the AC bonus of a shield.
Okay.
So basically, if you attack somebody with a shield, it is their normal armor class.
Yeah,
Cool.
And it is a glaive, so I will put those stats in the chat, in the Roll20 chat. But he kind of looks up at you all and says, "That it, or anything else you want to buy?"
I think we're good. I think we just gotta check with the mayor, see if he's able to round up anything for us, and we can be on our way.
You don't happen to have any arrows of giant slaying or anything like that, do you?
As a matter of fact, no, I don't.
No. Well, doesn't hurt to ask.
No, it doesn't. Thank you for being polite.
And then we're gonna head to see the mayor before we leave, or are we just gonna go straight to?
I think he was gonna try to round up some stuff for us, but wasn't 100% on it, so maybe he got something.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
I mean, other than this weaponsmith that he had clearly arranged,
Yeah.
but maybe he's got more things, including more gold.
Could be.
Okay,
Cool.
so you all go
so
to
yeah, I think
talk
we'll
to
head
the
there.
mayor.
Yeah.
So he is sort of leaving the part of town that he lives in to come back to the center of town. And he is carrying a hefty pouch of gold. And he has he has a box in his hand, like a wooden crate, kind of tucked under one arm. When he sees you, he waves you down. And he says, "I have 300 of the 500 gold that I promised here. And while you're away, I will see about getting a small collection if the people of this town are willing to thank you with their purse. And in this box," and he slides the top forward, and you see there are 3 healing potions inside. I have collected these. They should come in handy.
Thank you.
Alright. I'll take one of them. If one of you guys want to grab the other 2 or spread them out.
I'll take one as well, and maybe the last one to lead.
No, you can have it, wizard.
Oh, thank you. I was just gonna say.
The
Well,
healing potions...
Khalid-
Sorry.
You were the only one that went down yesterday.
And I'm here today, stronger than all of you.
I agree. You'll be even stronger if you.
If we have the potions, we can use them on him if he goes in again.
That's exactly true.
Okay.
And also, I'm like Vegeta. I get stronger every time I die.
Khalid has a Zenkai boost built into his paladin level.
What kind of healing potion is that, Ben?
It's just a regular common healing potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
It is about a wine bottle in diameter, but it is essentially one width all the way up, and then it has a linen cap with a metal ring holding it in place on top.
So it can slosh out?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that we're ready to go. You guys feeling confident? Feeling good?
Yeah, I think so. Let's head out. And I'll start leading the way out of town.
Okay, so you all go on the western road, which is labeled to Azo Yuan. And you
I'll play a
travel
little
for...
traveling song as we go, just to keep everyone's morale up.
Yeah, is that like a song where you sing a little bit, or a song where you...
It's kind of like a yodel. I'll play and yodel a little bit.
Yeah, okay. And as you all are going, you're on a road that looks very similar to the one that you were on the night before. And there are birds flying overhead. And they all seem to be crows, carrion birds. And they all seem to be flying at about 100 feet above you, a little bit of ways in front of you.
They're crows carrying birds?
Carrion birds.
Yeah. I
Crows or rooks or...
Are they that big, or does that represent like a flock of them? Or a murder of them, I guess?
We'll see about we'll see what the deal is here in a minute.
They seem interested in it.
And you see them, and they are all flying about 100 feet up. And then, as you get closer to being directly beneath them, you start to see that the angle of two of the crows changes. And the reason that they looked like it was a flock of crows of equal size is because two of the crows are about 300 feet off the ground. And as you are going, one of them goes into a nosedive. How do you all react when you see that crow flying downward?
I'm gonna
shoot at it.
Okay, 12 does hit.
I'm taking a mental picture.
Okay. 5 piercing damage.
Okay, that crow takes 5 piercing damage. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh no.
21.
21.
6.
18.
Okay, I need
That's the mark of the beast. 6, 6, 18.
6, 6, and 6 times 3.
6 3 times.
I need Biff, or I need Jackson and Khalid to roll again off of each other. Wow. One more time, please.
Triple war. This one gets all the deck. Oh.
So
Nice.
Jackson first and Khalid second. Okay.
Asnar prefers me.
All right. Hold on.
All right. First up is Zakar. You were going to go again. So what happens in the instant between your first sort of movement and your second one is that you see that the other crow that is much higher up is descending, and as each of them get closer, you see that they are probably about the size of you all. And you see that the other crows, as that first one sort of reaches the point that they are at, they all just disperse and start flying in other directions, uninterested in you. And the bird takes the arrow and seems to be in a great deal of pain, but is still coming on. And now it's your turn.
So wait, is it a giant bird? I don't understand.
Yes. The two that were flying way up above, they are giant.
Okay.
But the fox don't seem interested in us.
I'm going to shoot again, this time with sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And that's 14 to hit.
14 does hit.
And that's 20 piercing damage.
Jesus.
Damn.
That bird is bloodied.
And then I'm going to run. I'm not used to not having like a million move speed. Under this tree, just for a little bit of cover.
Okay. Wow. That bird is going to, with its turn, sort of fumble in the sky and free fall for a second before getting itself right and flying down and trying to beak at Jackson.
What?
This one is smarter than the other one. That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
I am a wizard.
9 piercing damage.
Well, I am bloodied.
Wow.
It just flies down, pecks you in the shoulder with its big old crow beak. Next up, and it kind of lands. Next up, Biff's turn.
Alright, I'm going to cast as a bonus action Cure Wounds on Jackson.
I think Cure Wounds is a full action. Healing Word is
Is it
a
a full?
bonus
Oh,
action.
yeah, you might be right. Alright, I'll still do it. At level 1. Get 9 points back.
Okay.
I'm at full health.
Did you
That's
move to do that?
No.
You gotta.
Oh.
I
Wait,
got a
for
touch,
Cure Wounds?
touch spell.
I thought
Yeah,
healing...
the
Oh,
range
no,
is touch.
you're right. You're right.
You're
Gotcha.
talking about healing words.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mix 'em
Now, everyone else in this combat has a 6, but first up, it'll be Jackson first.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Biff. And I will poison spray at him. DC 14.
Okay.
Con save.
Yes.
He does not succeed.
No, not at Biff. Sorry.
9
Okay,
damage.
so he takes 9 poison damage.
You have killed Hugin. The crow falls over, and you see that he has a
and then
little
I-
Hugin!
name tag.
And I will run behind Zakar.
It basically just goes and falls over dead in like a heap. And it's not pretty. It's black feathers being covered in blood and now seeping with toxin. Next up, Khalid. There's a bird who's about 80 feet above you.
It's 80 feet above me.
Yep.
One moment. 80 feet.
Zakar has immediately redeemed himself from the first stream, where every sharpshooter was just like, couldn't hit a barn with that, and then
No, I hit Khalid a couple times.
Khalid
That is true.
All them shoulders are almost as broad as a barn.
As a bonus action, no, I won't do that. I'll throw a javelin at it,
Okay.
which has a secondary range of 120.
Yeah.
So I'll roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
And that's a 13.
13. 13 does hit. ahead and roll damage.
A 5.
5. Okay. He takes 5 damage. Next up, it is the crow's turn. The crow gets to about 20 feet above Khalid. And that is the end of its turn. Next up, Zakar, once again. Are we going to have a repeat? And you do...
Yep, we're gonna try. So this is another sharpshooter, and I'm gonna just aim for its wing, I guess. And natural 20.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep.
And that is 24 points of piercing damage.
All right. The crow is barely alive.
And I'm going to step behind the tree. for some cover.
Okay, I think with the critical hit, I think you somehow you got it so that it was when your bow was like reaching its peak and just going down, so it kind of tore through the wing and pierced its side.
Okay, nice.
So it is having trouble maintaining its flight. And then you go behind the tree, and next up it is Biff's turn.
All right, well, I'm gonna viciously mock this crow. That's my point here. You say, hey, you're not as black and shiny as the other crows.
Let me see if he goes and takes 3 psychic damage and falls in a heap right in front of Khalid. Dead.
Mock him to death. All right.
I retrieve my javelin.
He had 1 HP after that 24 damage. And you have killed Mugen.
Mugen and Hugin.
I guess them having names maybe wasn't a good thing.
Lugan will have all the Donald Duck's nephews.
That actually, they have their names carved into their right leg, and then on their left leg they have a series of runes. What's everybody's languages? I can check that.
Oh, how big are these? How big are these?
The leg is about as big as one of your human legs.
As a halfling in common. Not
I
giant.
have common, elven, celestial, infernal.
And I have the same, but instead of infernal, I have draconic.
Okay. None of you know what that says on their left leg.
Can I try to pull out some of the arrows I shot, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say you were able to get them because they were such clean shots.
Ooh.
I want to. How thick are these bird legs?
You mean the meat?
Hacks them up.
No, like whatever's branded on them, whichever part of their leg is branded.
That it is. It looks like it's about diameter is like 1.5 feet.
So is it like the chicken foot section of their leg, or is it like the actual meat section of their leg?
It is like there's the foot and then there's the bone for a few section for like a few like 1.5 feet up. There is like that bony leg material, and then you get meat.
Baba Yaga's hut.
Yeah,
I want to try and get this just these sections of their legs that have the runes on them, like to break them off or saw through them or something.
Okay.
Can one of you guys help me with this?
Sure. Jackson, do you have a spell or something that allows you to read this?
No, unfortunately, no. I can smite it.
I'd rather not use up my energy casting spells on it. I just want to take this and learn from it.
You could cast it as a ritual, though. I think maybe comprehend languages. I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
I have to see if I have it in my spell.
Yeah, I don't know if you do or not. But...
And it would have to have the ritual tag.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, I mean it does, but I do not have it in my spell book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering.
Wait, how do you know a spell
actually,
that you
that's
don't
not
have in
true.
your spell book?
I don't know. I just realized that the way the character gen works is it doesn't have a spell book. Like
Yeah, anything that you know, you have in your spell book.
Right. I don't know it. Like I don't have it prepared. But right now my spell list is only the amount of spells that I have
Slots
I'm able
for?
to prepare. No, that I'm able to prepare every day, and so I just now realized that it doesn't have like an expanded spell list that I would have in my spell book.
You're a wizard, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's not a preparation thing. It's just all of the spells that you have are the spells that you have memorized.
Well, you have to memorize the things that you have in your spell book in order to prepare them every day. So you set aside, this is my prepared spell list.
Just
And these are the
rituals,
only spells I can cast, not for rituals, but the system for creating this character on this character sheet on Roll20 does not have like this is your spell book. Does that make sense?
You put
Yeah,
all
like,
the spells in there,
everything
and
extra on
then
it.
you
I
mark the
selected
circle.
my spells, and now that's the only ones that put on my sheet.
Okay, so the way in Roll20 it works is you write all your spells in those lists, and then you mark it with the circle, and that's the ones that you have prepared.
Yeah, I get that, but when I did that during the character creation for the character manager, all it let me select were the amount that I could prepare, and then after that, it added nothing to my spell sheet, except for the things I clicked on.
I see.
Well, and you don't have it prepared anyways, so it doesn't matter.
So what I'm saying is I don't know what is in my spell book other than the things that I have prepared.
Yeah, it might be good if you want to put it in like the additional features and traits or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, you have 6 first level spells of your choice.
Yeah, I understand the prepared part.
No, I know.
Don't have
Maybe we can talk about this after this.
Like, I don't understand what you guys don't understand.
This is good content.
We can figure out what it says.
What I'm saying is no, I can't do comprehension.
Okay.
Nobody wants to know what these bird legs say.
Some people
Well,
might.
not right now. I'm going to take them with me, and then maybe someday I will find out.
Property of the Stormlord or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
The runes seem to be something different on each one. But you all can continue on.
Okay.
Wait, did I get my legs?
The leg just says Daddy's bird.
I'd say that you would be able to cut them off.
Brought to you by Head Smart.
So I got the legs, and I'm grabbing a feather from each one as well.
Okay. And you all continue, and you make your way. And it is 7:20.
Maybe we should get off the road if these creatures are tracking us. Or can we stick to the brush on the side? Like, still follow it, but...
Yeah, you would be able to do that.
Okay.
I'll follow you. I didn't appreciate that bird trying to gore me.
No, that looked painful.
As it is...
Thank goodness for Biff here.
Well, you're welcome, friend. You know, I'm always looking out for my buds, and I try to clap him on the back when I just spank his ass.
Oh my.
It is 7:27. Are you guys good with us taking our break now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to go cool off after this argument about spell books and prepared spells.
I think you were the only one arguing.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I would tell you like why I
We
don't
were all
know
just
it,
trying
and
to
then
help.
you guys are like, no, you have this many prepared, and I'm like, I already know that.
Did you want corn tortillas?
Yeah, did you want corn tortillas?
Did you want corn tortillas? Do you have corn tortillas in your spell book?
I wanted corn tortillas. Yes, I did.
First off, that was not me.
That's me. Sorry. I wanted corn tortillas. What can I say? I wanted corn tortillas. That's just me.
This episode is brought to you by Cassoulet. Fresh today.
El Molcajete, actually.
I guess really, Ben, what I need to say is we need to have a conversation about how many spells I can put in my spell book, but not all of the prepared spells and stuff like that.
6.
No, I'm gonna murder you.
See, I have always thought that
I know I can prepare 6 spells, but you have more than that.
No. It says your spell book starts with 6 first level spells.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before when you yelled at me.
And I don't think that I have never thought from what I've read of Wizard that it was like preparation. I thought that it was just memorization and then you have those spells available.
No, you prepare a list.
Do you? That's disappointing for Wizards. Oh yeah, there it is. Right.
Yeah, and then and every morning you have to prepare which spells are castable without ritual.
Ah, that seems.
But the benefit is wizards have such a large variety of spells that they can put in.
And you could also steal spells by writing them. Or not steal, but like gain spells not through leveling.
You can just be like, I want to go learn some spells. Where can I find spells to put in my spell book?
Or steal another wizard's spell book and like get spells from that. Yeah.
Brian, while I got you here, before you leave to make the break, make best of the break, I was wondering if you could tell me anything about the deals that are going on right now at PetSmart.
Well, let me tell you, Yeah, this is actually from personal experience. We have a cat that lives on our porch, and my roommate feeds it. And he got a bag of alley cat food, and I think he made that entire thing up. I see the physical bag with a cartoon cat on it, just like I'm an alley cat, and I don't believe it. So go on out to PetSmart and
And prove Brian's roommate
reality
wrong.
to me.
Does it have like Heathcliff on it?
It's not Heathcliff. It's just a cat. I'm gonna go grab the bag I'll grab it when I come back.
It's an
But
MC Scat Cat.
You take two.
What does that mean that you think he made it up? You think he like designed the bag?
yeah, I think he learned graphic design.
He's so bored, stuck inside, that he decided to make up a brand.
That's a good prank.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what, that's a great prank.
What a great prank.
It's very good, yeah.
I'm putting it in the chat. Hold on. Oh yeah, and what have you been getting at PetSmart lately?
Well, I recently went to PetSmart and I picked up a can of, they're called dog Pringles. And essentially what they are is they are a different group of stackable snack flavors that you can give to your dog without worrying about any of the oil or anything that they use being bad for your dog if they have like a sensitive stomach issue. The issue is that all of the flavors are the exact same as human Pringles, and the only difference is that it is the Pringles man with his little mustache, but he has a dog nose. So I have several times eaten dog Pringles now, which cannot be good. My coat is getting shinier, but that is.
Oh yeah.
Are your
the
poops
only-
white?
They aren't, but they're troubling in a different way that I'll tell you off stream.
Okay.
Yeah, TOS violation. I don't think we can go.
The people want to know.
I
Look at this goddamn bag of cat food. This ain't real, right?
No way that's real. No way that is real.
Look at the cat with his little tongue
Yeah,
out, being like, "I love alley food."
You are the victim of a prank.
In the
You have a
bag,
very talented roommate.
I opened the
Ocean
bag.
fish
It was
is
just
convincing.
one fish bone. It was just one full fish as bones.
Well, I would think
Skeleton
that it would be a fish with meat on it when you get it, and then when you are supposed to throw it out, it would be just the bones.
Yeah, the cat puts the bones back in the bag. Oh, what a world! That's not real. That can't be real.
No, you are the victim of a prank.
What the heck is ocean fish? It's just ocean fish and tuna.
Like sea bass.
As opposed to
Does
Doesn't
freshwater.
tuna
anything.
fall under ocean fish?
It's whatever they also catch when they're trying to catch tuna.
I guess
Dolphin,
you're right.
probably.
Oh, the dolphin. Yeah, it's dolphin. This bag's 80% dolphin.
Well, should we take our break on that
Yeah.
note? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're back in 5 minutes. But I'll stay here and give people content. Hey, everybody. Things are bad right now, but PetSmart can offer you great deals. Thanks a lot, Emmy, for segueing into our next thing about the good deals that you can get over at PetSmart. Do you have 4 animals that are soul bonded to you? PetSmart can give you any number of different snacks for them.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, this might be a good time to talk about the mechanics of the soul bond for the stream.
Yeah, that's probably good. So, in the world of Wotarn, there is something that has been around since recorded history began that is not even extremely, but just sufficiently powerful individuals. Their soul becomes expressed by 4 different animals. One of hoof, one of fang, one of sky, and one of sea. The one of sea and sky are pretty self-explanatory. It's essentially any animal who basically can spend a sufficient amount of their time underwater. A little bit of it, like a lot of other things in Wotarn, is dedicated by mortal sentient being perception. So something like an alligator would be considered something of sea, but it would also be considered something of fang. Something of fang is probably the one that I think actually has the most, has the broadest array of possibilities, and you'll see that when some of the characters start to have their soul bonds out, and I mean some already have. But fang is essentially anything that is a predator and is not a bird. That's the big, that's the big one. And then the one of hoof is it is mainly things with hooves, but there are going to be a few things that are sort of burden or pack carrying animals, that sort of thing. A lot of cattle animals. A pig could be considered a fang animal because it's an omnivore, or could be considered a hoofed animal. That sort of thing. But essentially, after a person reaches a height of power, there are a few rituals that they can undergo, and they will find out what their animals are. They are real animals that exist. So whenever, say, today we met Tiberius's Sky Soul Bond Julius, the Red Eagle. Whenever Tiberius is not hanging out with Julius, Julius is an eagle out doing his own thing. But when Tiberius needs him, he can call him to him, and depending on what Julius has going on, say Julius is in a fight with another eagle, he will have to finish that before he can come to Tiberius's aid. And then his body and soul will be pulled along until he is within range to help his bonded mate, sort of deal. Is there any thing that I've explained to you all, the players, that the viewer might benefit from that I didn't mention there?
I don't know if anyone else is back, but I just thought that mate might be a misleading word to use in terms of the soul bond.
Partner.
No, I mean, that seems similar to what
companion.
my understanding is. Yeah, there we go.
Companion. Yeah.
So you're saying there's rituals to bring them out?
Not rituals to bring them out. It is essentially willing them to be with you, provided you are in the correct setting. So, like right now, you're not around any water. If any of your characters knew their sea bond, which they don't, they would not be able to call one of them to them. It's just to have them, to basically be bonded, you do have to go through rituals, and there are specific places for those rituals.
And have our characters done that yet?
Not
or no?
These ones.
Okay, got it.
All of your knight characters, I would say, have, unless you very specifically want them to have not gone through it.
Okay.
And how rare would you... I mean, I know that you said that like people who are well-traveled might have met one or two people that have had soul-bonded animals, but in general, how rare would you say that is?
I would say that typically in this world, anyone who is like an adventurer or a significant person in a organization that would see some level of traumatic experiences would be eligible to have one, and then it's just a matter of going and doing the ritual.
Cool.
And sometimes people don't have all of them. So sometimes people go to the position where you can get your sky one and maybe their hoof one, but never find out what their fang or water one is.
And then theoretically, everyone has these bonds.
Yes.
It's just not like unlocked for everyone.
Yeah, you have to reach a level of physical or mental fortitude before you're ready for them.
Gotcha. Right on.
Okay.
We back?
Back to the spell list stuff. Since Jackson does not appreciate the way that most wizards do their studying and memorizing to put spells in their spell book, I was thinking maybe we do a thing where if I have time and the money to copy spells over, what I do is I experiment to try and learn a spell. So, like, say we're about to go into a rest, I can say I want to do a ritual where I try to learn, X spell, and I roll percentage dice. If it's 90 and above, I get that spell, and I can copy it into my spell book. If it's an 80 to a 90, then you get to choose a random spell of the same level. And if it's anything else, I just don't learn anything, and I lose the components.
Okay.
The cost.
Gotcha.
Are you okay with that? Does that make sense?
I am okay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool way of doing the cost of the transcribing too. I like
Yeah.
that.
I think so. Okay. Then, so you all go off the road, and you make your way until you see it. Far ahead of you, there is the walls of an old fort. Looks like it couldn't have been made within the last even 200 years. And there are sentries on top that seem to patrol, but none that have spotted you as you approach from the east. Everybody make perception checks.
While we're rolling that, Ben, what is the terrain like in this area?
It is primarily grassy. Seems to be that this was built on a plain. So there are a few trees that provide cover, but not very close to the fort.
Sure.
Let me put a tree down here, just for believability's sake.
So I rolled a 7, so I don't think I'm seeing very much.
Okay. 2 sevens.
Okay, I'll roll my perception, but also I want to. I'm gonna say, let me send in my new little bug and see if I can see anything on the inside. So I'm gonna do my normal perception, which was a natural 20.
Oh, there we
Natural
go.
20. Okay.
Pretty good.
So you notice that these seem to be limestone walls, cut sheer so that there is not really a way to gain a foothold. But then you do notice that there are some vines that lead up to a window on one side of the walls.
There's some vines over here. Maybe I can send my little beetle up and he can look in for me and I can look through his eyes.
Is this around where we think that the storm giant is? Should we wait for Tiberius?
You do believe that this is the fort that you have heard reference to.
We can send the bug in, but we might want to wait for the army for the other stuff.
Right, I just was figuring we can figure out. He asked us to scout. This'll
Good
maybe
idea.
find something. Okay, so I'm gonna send my little buggy out, and he'll climb up the vines and go in. I'll use my action to look through his vision.
Yeah.
And his passive perception is 12. Do you want me to just roll perception for him?
I think I'll just stick with the 12.
Okay.
So you send him up, and he does make it up through the vines, and he crawls through a crack in a glass window. Inside, he sees this sort of bare Spartan room. There's a blue rug, and there are two men in similar mismatched leather armor to the men you fought the night before, sitting at a table playing cards with each other. They're talking, but not about anything of interest to your little beetle friend. Does he choose to go into the next room?
Yeah, I'm gonna send him up on the ceiling and then down towards this door that is in the far thing. And I can only see through his vision for, I think, 100 feet.
Sure. So your little beetle friend crawls through the gap between the door and the floor, and he sees that there are two men sort of sitting on the floor, and they look like they are reading. And there are a whole bunch of bookcases, but they seem to be empty, and books just kind of litter the floor.
Nerds.
Wow. I didn't know that Biff was a bully. But you just see, like, it looks like this would almost be like difficult terrain from the number of books that are on the floor.
Oh my. Then yeah, my beetle will like scurry underneath some books and like just make a diagonal beeline towards this door and see if it can find a crack to get through.
There is. The beetle slides underneath. This is fun. It's cool that this map is not in play, but I get to show it. This is fun. Beetle slides underneath the door. It is a room wherein there is a small pile of silver on one side. And sorry, I keep revealing and then not switching back to my arrow, so I can't blip. There's some silver in a pile, and then there is a large, seemingly locked iron chest.
Okay, it's going to go back out the door and then come around here and then take the stairs down.
Okay, beetle goes down. Okay, the beetle goes down, and the beetle sees that there is a door that seems to be the entrance to a courtyard. Basically, it goes down until the floor that would be the next floor, like the flooring, is not the tile, the stone tile that was up here, sort of carved stone into tiles, but instead is grass. But he would be able to fit beneath the door and go into the fort's courtyard. If he chooses.
Oh, there's some kind of a creature groping at another one.
Is it Biff?
What weirdo.
Oh, sorry. Wrong thing. That is kind
I
of
want
what
to see
you
where
see.
this goes.
That is kind of what you see. As you walk out into the courtyard and you see there is what looks like a few hundred mattresses in a pile together, and on top of it, breathing heavily, is a gray-skinned man. He is a giant.
Oh my.
He's very big.
And you see
Quite large.
he has two large horns that protrude from his temples. And yeah, I think your beetle can see it with the 12 perception. One of his eyes is missing, and in the socket you see there is a nest. He is large enough that if he stands, he would probably be taller than these walls. The walls, which are about 120 feet up. You see there are a few men in the courtyard who look similar to the men that you saw up there, and then there is a pit over to one side. Oh, and then there is a gate on the southern wall with a portcullis next to it.
Okay. I'm going to go back to my vision and telepathically tell the beetle to take the same path back to me.
Okay. It's going to take a little bit of time because it's dramatically scurrying beneath books.
Yeah. And I let them know all the things that I was able to see. There's just through the window there's a couple of these guard men things. They're just like the bandits that we faced yesterday. And that's connected to another room that there's two more that are reading, and there's staircases, and I took the staircase down, and inside this giant building there's a courtyard. It's mostly a courtyard, and there's a giant in there, and I think it is a storm giant. It is sleeping right now, but I think if it were to stand up, it could see us from over the edge of these walls. It's that tall. and that big.
So should we wait for the army to back us up, or do you think we can maybe take out some of these inside guards before they arrive without arousing suspicion?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was maybe
If they wake the storm giant, I think we're all toast.
Do you think the storm giant could tear through the fortress walls?
yeah, that's
It's
what I was
big
thinking.
enough.
Yeah,
It
it was
can wrap its hands around one of these entire walls, like the width of the wall, like
Well,
depth of the wall.
How big could a giant be?
This one might be the biggest.
yeah, this giant, when you saw it through the beetle eyes, Biff, seems like a giant much larger than any of the stories that you have heard from back when giants were were a large population. Seems like this giant is much bigger than that.
Like, it's laying down in the courtyard, and it's nearly as long as this entire wall.
Zeke, there's no reason to exaggerate. You're saying it's that large? Really? Truly?
I think it is. It's very big. Like I said, if it stands up, it's going to be able to see over these walls. It's taller than these walls.
Are you sure you don't think that because your beetle's very small?
Yeah, there's like
Oh.
scale.
Well, there was other of these men around, and it was that size compared to them. And they're about our heights.
Well, maybe Biff is right. Perhaps we should wait.
I don't want to go in.
Are they my height or Biff's height?
Although, if we do wait for the army, they're going to be much more likely to wake the giant up.
But surely, if any of these men believe that we're attacking, then they
That's
would
true.
wake him up
Yes,
anyways.
that is
What
true.
if we sneak in and I put the giant in a sleeper hold?
I start measuring your arm with my eyes. I don't think it's going to work.
It's 22-inch pythons.
He has a 80-inch dragon for a neck.
Whoa.
He has 22-yard pythons.
Whoa. The prophecy has been foretold.
Well, I mean, maybe if you use this potion that I made, that'll make you stronger. And I
I don't-
jingled the toxic green potion.
I don't think that potion will help me, right?
It'll make you stronger.
I don't think it will.
No, it will. I made it today. I used to be quite an accomplished alchemist.
I guess I'm saying out of character, I don't think that'll help me.
Out of character, yes, it will. If you want it. I mean, obviously you can choose to. It gives
a potion of ogre strength, right?
Yeah, it gives you +2 to strength checks. So that's like any strength skill check to hit with like strength-based weapons, strength saving throws. But it gives you a -1 to intelligence checks. So the same things, but for
Okay.
intelligence.
I was thinking of the gauntlets, which just like sets you at 19 strength, which I'm.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. Not this potion.
Just a humble brag from Brian there about how strong his character is.
I don't need it. Yeah, I mean, I can afford to get dumber.
Okay, I'll hand him the potion, and I put on a huge shit-eating grin. And I get out my notebook, get ready to write down something, like results, maybe.
Maybe don't drink it until Tiberius and his army arrive.
Wait, I thought I was going in there now. So I was gonna put them in the walls of Jericho.
Well, he's already asleep now. I think if we wait for the army, maybe we could have a better shot. Maybe we could use them as distraction and infiltrate through the people who are reading and playing cards. And
There are some treasures up there that I saw. So maybe if the guards come and take on his main force here through the gate, we can climb up those vines and take out some of his henchmen and maybe take a little loot with us.
What if we draw some of the guards out?
We can draw some of them up into the room that has all the loot and kill them there.
Well, can we get in there without people noticing us? We'd have to crawl those vines, right?
The
Yeah, I
army
think
is some
one.
distraction, I think.
Yeah, with the armies distracting them, then we can get through the window and cause a ruckus there and split their numbers.
Seems like a good plan. Ben, can we see the archers at the top, like patrolling, or are they like in enclosed areas, or what do they look like?
You can see them. The battlements are not very tall, so you
Okay.
can see them, and they are patrolling. I just haven't been moving them because I wasn't sure how long you all were.
Sure,
Top.
sure, yeah.
So they are in movement. They do seem to stop kind of at each of these larger platforms that exist upon the walls. But that is about all you can glean. And they do have long bows.
Well, those bows can reach from quite a distance. If they are talented at all with them, they'll be able to pick off men before they even get to the gates. Perhaps it's better if we do infiltrate a little earlier.
Well, we should at least share this information with the captain or whatever he was, and
I agree. They should at least be in distance for us to contact them through the hawk.
I believe if they can attack towards the front, though, perhaps these archers would be drawn off to the front, and we could sneak in behind them.
yeah, I'm sure they have shields or something.
Yeah,
But I do think we should communicate with the captain before we do anything.
so I think it sounds like, Ben, we're waiting for the hawk,
Eagle.
or eagle, rather. Oh, sorry.
You all basically take from right now, which is mid-morning, to dusk, sitting and waiting, and I'll call that a long rest.
Okay.
Everybody goes back up, full spells, full HP, and you see the eagle fly in from over the fort, high enough that none of the archers seem willing to waste a shot on what seems to be just an innocuous bird. And it lands right here beside Zakar.
Well, I suppose they're in distance for the eagle, at least. Maybe we can attach a note to its foot and tell him what we've learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me write something down. What do we want to say? And I bring out a little piece of paper and a pen.
I would inform him of the giant inside and its size. And
I think you should highlight its size. His men should know.
yeah, perhaps I don't want to say they should. We shouldn't tell them that they're the distraction, but maybe if we can word it in such a way where they would be the distraction for us.
Oh, use the word flanking. The military types like that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
like pincer.
Oh, so,
like
so they'll
pincer
take
movement.
it. So, okay, how's this sound? There's a giant in this courtyard, and it's... one second.
Say the falcon is in the nest.
It's at least
70
feet
feet for
tall.
a giant. That's like twice the size of normal giants.
It's at least 70 feet tall, and it... if they attack the main gate, then we'll flank through the inside.
I
How's that
like
sound?
that. And maybe how many men have we seen altogether?
How many have we seen? All of the men on top of this thing at this point, Ben?
From what you can tell,
These sentries or whatever, have we seen all of them or no?
you got, with that natural 20, you saw the face of the guard who was on this one before you sent your beetle in. And after about a cycle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After about another 8 guards had stood on that and kind of looked over everything, you saw him again. So it's likely that there are 9 guards up top.
Okay, I'll write down. There's 9 guard sentries on top.
With longbows.
3.
Make sure they know they have the longbows.
Well, I'm running out of paper. With
He has
But they
2
only
legs.
have like 10 HP
W
max.
/ longbows. There's 3 sentries inside with the giant, or in the courtyard with the giant, and I saw at least 4 men inside the building of the walls. And then we will start by taking out the men inside the walls as soon as they attack the gates.
Perfect.
I think that's great.
Okay, I'll roll it up and hand it to Zakir.
And I'll tie it to the foot of the eagle and then send him off.
Okay. It flies immediately directly south.
So we wait for the reply. Is there going to be a reply?
It's the last we ever saw that bird.
Is this the way we're looking at the map? Is it like cardinally
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not nearly a smart enough person to make my maps and keep a little key so that I know which direction's which. But it flies off, and if you all wait a little bit, it'll come back with a reply.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we would wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, one returns and just says, "My men wait to the south. If you could open the gate, we would charge faster, but it's your call."
Mm,
I mean, we might be able to take out the inside guys without arousing the outside and sneak to the gate.
Oh, it also says, "We will draw fire."
How long did it take for the bird to go, like, to get back?
It was like 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
Eagles.
As an
fast.
eagle flies.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should just tell them that we're on our way, and by the time they get it and then march over here, then, like, I'm sure that we'll have it open by then, right?
Plus,
that
if they're causing a distraction at the front of the wall, we could sneak behind and possibly open the gate.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe let's write that we're going to start our assault then, and it should be open by the time they get here.
We're starting our assault as soon as we hand over the message. As you receive this, the gates should be close to open. Please march immediately.
Okay, you send off the eagle. And by this point, there is a single guard on the platform above the window.
Man.
And
You couldn't get a girlfriend?
no guard atop the platform that you are in front of.
Well, we can sneak up to the vines, maybe?
Yeah, let's go. Let's run to this platform and hug the wall.
Okay.
And everybody make a stealth check. Khalid, I believe, is the only one with disadvantage.
It is me.
Shit.
Ooh.
Not great.
All right.
Agree.
You're,
Oh, I'm not the worst. I'm the second best.
Jackson knocks over a rock that runs into 8 other rocks. And
I was going to say, no, it's just so, like, I'm somehow tripping over the same stone that I'm accidentally kicking.
you hear
Damn it.
quick footsteps, and up above you can just make out a normal volume level conversation between 2 guards. Saying, let me roll for their intelligence. Oh, it must have been a bird.
That's stupid.
Must have been a bird. I'm gonna stay right here though. We'll see what if a bird comes back. Maybe I'll try and pin it. The other guy goes, "Yeah, all right." And he runs off.
So where's the guy? He's right here.
This guy, yeah.
All
Who's
right,
the
I'm.
sneakiest of us? It's you, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I try to make a deception check to have a bird call kind of behind him? Maybe draw him back this way?
Do you have any spells that can throw your voice?
I don't have minor illusion or anything.
So I'm thinking maybe I can shoot an arrow, like against the building, like here where I pinged, so that. Well, but that's the direction we're going in. Okay.
I think I can cause a
Oh, wait.
distraction.
I do have minor illusion. I'm sorry. That's what cantrip I have.
Oh,
Well, that would be perfect.
I'll leave it to Biff.
Create a sound or image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. The illusion also ends if you dismiss it. Create a sound. Its volume can range from a whisper or scream. Its range is 30 feet, so I'm going to try to get it 30 feet back as far as possible. Just make kind of a bird sound behind in the courtyard area.
Okay.
It has to pass a successful intelligence investigation check against my DC, which is 14.
Okay. So after a few moments, you hear him turn around and say, "What is that? What is it?"
And I think
I'm moving
Couple
everyone
run.
forward towards the
Yeah.
vines.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody make a athletics check just to see how quickly you get up.
So athletics or acrobatics?
It would be athletics to pull yourselves up.
7.
Ooh, critical 22.
Nice.
I'll see you guys later. Oh, actually.
Okay. Averaging that out,
My
Biff.
mustache isn't as heavy as yours.
That's right.
Biff and Khalid manage to make it up quick enough that they can kind of help
Right on my back, Cigar.
Zakar up the last few moments. As the guard, you can just hear him begin to shout, There's something trying to get in!" As he realizes that your illusion is false, but before that, you hear from further on, you hear, "Attack! Attack at the gate!"
Okay.
But you all
So
managed
the-
to make it inside. Turn down that gain a little bit.
Are we
Probably
still,
smashed your face through the
So we got
window
into.
and get us in.
are we still undetected by the people inside?
No, you are not.
Okay.
Sorry.
So can we get to the top, or do we have to go into a room?
The vines stop before they would get to that window.
Okay. Is there any way to climb up all the way to the top?
Doesn't look like it. The stone seems to have been designed so that you couldn't.
Okay.
That slick limestone.
Yeah, but you all pop up in this room with two guys at it. They pop up out of their chairs. Everybody roll initiative.
Okay.
8.
19.
11.
All right, not a bad initiative roll. So first up, it will be Biff.
Okay, I am going to cast sleep on hopefully both of these people.
Okay.
At first level, 29.
Wow.
So they're hit
Yeah,
points total.
you cast it, and both of them just drop asleep.
Okay.
Well done, Biff.
We should slit their throats, right? So they can't attack us from behind.
I think that would be a decent idea, in my opinion.
I have no qualms with that. Somebody want to help me with this one?
Yeah, I'll draw my
Not great with a dagger.
my wooden rapier and slit this guy's throat.
All right. Everybody make attacks with advantage.
I think isn't like things like this
Oh, yeah.
incapacitate
It's an
people. It's like
automatic crit.
auto crit.
Yeah, it's an auto crit. Yeah,
Okay.
they're unconscious. So
So,
that's just 20 damage and 3 damage, and then or 20 damage and 6 damage, and then it would be 14 damage and 3 and 6 damage, and then 13 damage. Okay, both of them are dead.
All right.
And they make no noise as you move on to the next to the door to do SWAT team maneuvers.
Before we
they're
go
gonna be-
into
We gotta slice the pie here, guys.
I'd like to cast Divine Favor on myself.
would you like to drink that potion? And I give it one more jiggle.
I drink the
Also-
potion.
I'm also going to give you
Yeah.
some bardic inspiration before we go in. So you have an extra d6 you can add to any roll before it's announced if it's successful or not.
So it gives me +2 strength, you said?
+2 to strength checks.
Which is attacks and stuff, right?
Yeah, to hits for attacks, not for damage, but just like your chance to hit.
Okay.
And saving throw, strength saving throws, and any skills checks that use strength.
Okay.
And -1 to intelligence for all those things.
All right. You want to jump in here and let's kill these dudes?
I'm going to pull out my bow now, Ben.
When I was in here, there's a bunch of books on the floor, and 2 men on the floor reading them. So
Maybe
just
we
a heads up on that.
Maybe we could sneak up on them if they're entranced in a book.
And maybe I'm not very good at sneaking, obviously.
Can you look like those men, Biff?
I do have a disguise kit, but I'm a halfling. I don't know if they have any halflings in their ranks.
I guess time is of the essence. Maybe we should just go.
Yeah, they seem pretty weak.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go right there.
Okay, Quali just bursts through. So Quali, you get a surprise attack, and then I think
He's my hero.
I'm going to keep you all in the same initiative for this entire map.
Okay.
Just for
Okay.
expediency. So, Quali, you do get a surprise round for now.
Okay. Got it. So wait. So that's gonna be.
You still need to attack.
Didn't I attack?
He is
That is
standing up.
the attack roll.
That's the attack roll. So I'm gonna add,
sorry.
but it adds 1, so that's 9, and then I'm gonna do the d6. So
You get
11.
+2 from my potion. So that's
11.
actually a 10 plus that's
It
D6
gives me a +2 to the roll or to the strength.
to the roll,
Oh, I understand. Okay,
to the check itself.
so 12 total.
Okay, 12. You just hit.
Hey. 8 plus a d4.
Okay.
So 11 damage.
Okay, he is dead. You basically just show up, stab this guy in the back with your trident, seemingly piercing 3 important organs at the same time. And he...
You have the glaive too, Chloe.
I do, yes.
Okay.
But these aren't shielded men, right?
They're not.
Okay.
And he falls dead. The glaive is still a +1 if they
Sure.
don't have a shield.
Understand.
It's
Okay.
1d10 damage.
So Biff is a 21, but he... no, Biff, it's your turn.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna move up here. And then I'm going to viciously mock this other person reading a book. Like, hey, what you reading, nerd? Ayn Rand or some shit? Oh, it only takes 1 damage if he fails. But...
He turns and says, "No, I have excellent taste," and it has no effect.
Damn, dude. He defeated you with facts and logic.
Ben Shapiro?
No, actually, I'm not. I read it already. But he does get up and he shouts, "Out here! Out here!" And now it is Jackson. It's your turn.
Okay. 10 feet. 30 feet. Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to run here, and I'm going to draw one of those things in the air, and the green, almost neon circle will appear above it, and I will wave my hand behind it, and a puff of poison will spray out at him.
Okay.
DC 14 con.
Alrighty. Let's see if he succeeds that one. He just fails.
He takes 6 poison damage,
Alright. He is bloodied.
and that's my turn.
Okay. Next up, it is Zakar's turn.
Okay. I'm going to run into the room and shoot my arrow at him. Oh, but it's half movement, right? So I guess I can only go here. But anyways,
You would be able to get there, and then, I mean, it would be 10 feet.
Oh
to
wait,
get
we
there.
had half movement.
I think
I thought it was
Jackson's
difficult
favorite
terrain.
is books, though. And
and
I actually think to make that retroactively make sense so that we don't have to go back too far, your beetle, you know the route.
Oh, there we go. I like that. But yeah, I'll be here, and then I'll shoot my longbow, not sharpshooter, and that. Oh, it was still at advantage, but 10 to hit.
10 does not hit, so the arrow whizzes past him. Now it is his turn, and he is going to come right here. He is going to attack you, Jackson.
Mistake.
13 to hit.
No, because I used my reaction to cast shield. So now my AC is 16
Okay.
until the end of my next turn.
Man, your shield made 3 people appear.
He turns and swings his axe at you, and you just cast up a shield. What color?
I didn't know there was an invisible wall there.
What color is the shield of energy?
The shield would probably be like almost like a translucent, like a gray almost.
Nice. Yeah, the door flings open, and 3 men with their own axes come rushing out.
I swear that door wasn't there before when I came through with my beetle.
Somebody forgot to reveal that area when the beetle was here. And now we go back to the top of the order with. Oh wait, Khalid, I don't think I gave you your normal spot in the order. So.
I'm 11.
Yeah.
So I would have been last.
No,
You would have been before
me.
me. You would have
been.
been.
So yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you
No,
do
it's
have your
okay.
turn.
It's okay. I go right here, and I'm gonna hit him.
Yeah. 24 hits.
26 hits. Let's see. Boom. And I add a 4 to it. Nice.
And he is dead. Deader than dead. Okay, and now you have these new combatants added.
He didn't kill me, did he?
Oh, I'm sorry. He did not kill you. He was so blessed that he did.
Man, Brian got me so hard with my confusion on spell books that it obliterated my character from the map.
Okay, and sorry about that. You are right there, Jackson. And Biff, it is your turn. So you do have half movement.
Okay. Let's I can move here. Can I throw a dagger at this closest guy from that range?
You can do that.
Try to pull out a dagger, throw it at him.
Okay. 17 hits for sure.
For 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay, that dude is bloodied and looking mighty fucked up.
Nice. Did it hit him in the balls?
You hit him just above the groin area.
Nice. That's my turn.
Okay. Then next up, it would be Jackson. It would be your turn again.
I cast grease right underneath all of these people.
Okay. Grease.
So
yeah, I've heard.
Dex save 14.
Okay. One guy succeeds, one guy fails, one guy fails. I'll say the guy
failed Paul. Prone.
Okay. This guy's prone. Let me get up a prone. And this guy's prone. And Khalid, it is your turn again.
Oh, well, I'm going to move.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to move 10, 20, 30 feet.
Okay. Khalid, it's your go.
1, 2, 3. So I can only go 3 squares, right? We're half movement?
Yep.
Okay, I'll do a diagonal instead.
Your
I'll
glaive has reach, right? I don't know if it has that far reach.
does the glaive have reach?
It does, yeah. It has a range of 10 feet.
Okay, then what's the action to switch weapons?
Bonus action.
Bonus.
Okay, I'll use the bonus to you know what I'll do? I'm gonna throw my trident at this dude,
Okay,
the
sure.
bloodied one.
Yeah.
And then I'll use a bonus action to take out the glaive.
And it is a Guandao, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just reminding myself.
Guandao.
So
I think that's Chinese for glaive.
That's a 1.
your trident clangs against the wall and falls into the grease.
Clink, 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 grease.
It will be harder to use unless you take the time to clean it up now.
Oh, man.
Bummer. Ben really wants you to use that Chinese glaive.
Hey, don't filthy up my grease.
But you do
It's beautiful grease.
You do take the glaive out.
Yep, I do.
And next up, it is Zakar's turn.
Okay. Then I'm going to aim at the guy that is bloodied and do a regular longbow shot.
Sure.
And that's 23 to hit.
Hits.
And 8 piercing damage.
Okay. That guy is dead, and his body slides in the grease.
Nice.
As he falls.
And then I'm going to move here behind Jackson.
Okay. Zach, the ruler that's in the circle, if you go over to that and click snap to center.
Okay.
Next up, it is the bandit's turn. This guy's going to try to stand up at disadvantage, I would say. He does not succeed. That guy's still prone, just flipping around.
It's getting greasier and greasier.
This guy is going to move forward and then kind of cycle around you, Khalid, staying within range. And then he is going to...
So that's difficult terrain, the greases. I don't know how that stacks with difficult terrain itself.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have been able to make it that far. So it's 10, 20, 30. Okay, so he's there.
Attack of opportunity?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, if it has reach, yeah, but if it has reach, doesn't it exit his range?
I think that's a feat. I think you have to have a feat before you can attack of opportunity within reach.
I guess if you step within the reach of the weapon, I don't know if that, like, past the reach of the blade, I don't know how that works, actually. So we'll say, for right now, just to save on time, you do get an attack of opportunity.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do I get it from, though?
He is coming forward, and you have just pulled out your glaive, and you basically have the chance to just, like, swing it forward with both of your hands and try and chop him across the...
Are you a polearm master, Brian?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is where it comes from.
Yeah, it's a feat.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's polearm master or sentinel.
So
I'm looking at it now.
Is it a strength or a dexterity weapon?
It is a strength weapon. It does slashing damage.
All right. I'm just going to roll my trident. And what is the D8 damage?
No, D10.
D10.
D10. Sorry, I don't even know why I said D8. D10. Okay, got it.
So it's 26 to hit. Plus,
Also,
plus
it's a Guandao, guys.
28 to hit with Guandao.
It's 27 to hit.
It's important to me that you all know that it is Guandao.
6 plus 4. So that is 8 plus my strength, which is 4, so 12 damage.
And then plus 1 from the Guandao being a plus 1.
Yeah, plus 1. Yeah.
So, yeah,
so 13 damage.
You have killed this man.
Fuck.
He slides out. He slides towards you, and he seems to misjudge his steps and just falls straight into the blade of your Guandao.
Cool. I'm gonna keep him on it, so I'm just gonna like skewer these dudes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that.
Next up, it is Biff. It is your turn again.
All right. So we can move here. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on this guy. Look, hey buddy, why don't you stand up?
Yeah, I don't care for that. He says in my halfling voice that I use for. He fails. So he takes that 2 damage and has disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Extra disadvantage.
Yep. Next up, Jackson. It's your go again.
Okay.
No yawning.
Okay. I will move right here, and I will take the dodge action.
Okay.
And end my turn.
Okay.
He just goes there and is just like, kind of like tucking himself into his robes, like tucking his arms across his chest.
Gotcha. Next up, Khalid.
I will step right next to this man, and I'll hit him.
Okay. And 25 definitely hits.
28.
28, yeah.
And that's a D10 and a D4. And so that's 4 plus 4, 8, 9 total.
Okay. That guy with the 2 from Vicious Mockery is dead.
Nice.
And he
All
falls
right.
into the grease, skewered on your Guandao. You can pick up your trident, and then are you all going upstairs, downstairs?
Yeah, we should maybe loot after everything's over.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think we need to run up these stairs. Maybe it'll go up to the room or to a way to get to the gate opening.
Okay. Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, it's better to go down than up in this kind of situation. So,
What? No, we want to go up.
okay. So I'm gonna.
I
yeah,
know
I'm
what's down. If we go down, it goes straight to the.
Yeah, my point was that we want to go up first because it's easier to take a rope going down than to climb a rope going up.
Oh, I understand. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And you all go up, and you are now... You pop right up here, and it has been enough time that every single guard, it looks like, is focused on the southern gate, and they are pouring arrows over it.
Is the giant awake yet? Like,
He-
I guess this is the first time we've seen it.
He is awake. He is probably bigger than any of you assumed, other than Jackson. Each of you unsure to if you believed him or not. He is now awake and sitting up, like sitting down. His head is as high as these walls.
It's not good. Let's maybe get this army in here before we tackle this giant.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the gate. I'll run. I'll run across the wall here.
I'm gonna hunter's mark the giant.
Okay. Guandao. All right.
It's the tones. He wants to get the tones right.
Guandao.
It's a tonal language.
Okay.
Oh, I was trying to get the thing to pop up. But anyways, yeah, he's hunter's marked.
Okay.
Um,
How high is this wall?
Wall is about 120 feet up.
Oof.
Wait, the walls are 120 feet up?
Yep.
God damn.
Oh, he's taller than I had hoped he wasn't.
That means he's 240 feet tall?
At least. That's not good.
And,
That's
according
like-
to, and the amount of hand that's getting on that thigh means that he's probably has a longer legs than he does his torso.
Is there anything I can do to climb down this wall?
There.
Where's the gate release, first off?
Yeah, do we see it?
I would say everybody make a perception check right now. That's probably the best way to start.
There we go.
Okay.
We perceive the ass.
Yeah, I say everybody but Khalid. You see that there is the main portcullis in this green square down here, but then there is another wench for the portcullis here on top of the wall. So to get over there, it is highly likely that the guards would see you in your current state, but they are focusing on down there below. So you might not have to fight all of them if you went over there. The giant is awake. And he basically is moving, and you see he doesn't move incredibly fast, but he is basically waking up and going.
We gotta make a mad dash to that gate.
I kind of want to just start shoving those dudes off into the army.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's the way I'm going to start going.
Okay, I'm going to run here and then cast Fog Cloud at this will be the edge of it, so I'll draw it where it goes.
Yeah, sure.
Are we in the same initiative order, Ben, or are we re-rolling?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a new initiative. Thank you for reminding me.
17?
Fuck. 7.
It's a little easier to see. So the fog cloud is there. So anybody that tries to look through that has their vision. It's like impaired. They just can't see it at all.
Okay, go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
3.
Okay, great. Okay, so now just we'll be going like it's a normal combat situation. So first up is going to be the Legion. Seems like you hear rattling at the gate. And then it is Zakar's turn.
Okay. Does it look like the guys below? What are they doing? Are they running around or?
These guys, they seem to be focusing on getting out of the way of the giant's path. But they are sticking to this pit and seem to be working some type of chain situation out.
Ben, do you mind if I ask how many rounds do you think it's been since our last combat?
It has probably been about 5.
Okay. So I probably have 4 rounds, 3 rounds left, maybe, of my divine favor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna run forward to where I put my token, and then shoot at one of the guys who is. You said they're pulling something out of a pit.
They are working with some chains that are along the edge of the pit.
What does that mean? Working with, like, are they pulling them, or they're moving them?
It is partially. One of them seems to be pulling, and like another one seems to be unwrapping chains that are wrapped together.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shoot at the one that's over here, and I'll do sharpshooter for that. 6 goes wide.
Yeah. Sails into the pit, actually.
Sounds good, and that's my turn.
Okay. Next up, it is
Biff, I think.
something happens beyond the gate, and then it is
enemies.
Biff's turn.
Oh.
Okay. I am going to move here. Now I'm going to cast Sleep starting here and get these 4 there.
Okay. Roll
Level
that
1.
HP.
26.
Wow. Yeah. You put this guy to sleep. You just see him fall, and I'm gonna actually roll just a chance thing to see if he falls off.
Okay.
He falls back off of the wall, and you see his body crumble as it hits the ground.
Nice.
The other guy seems to be just on the edge of that fog cloud. He stays up. Okay. Next up in the order, the giant stands up. When he stands up, you can see that he is roughly 240 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
Twice the height of the walls. No legend of the giants ever said that anything
Yeah.
was this big.
It's like 10 times the size of a regular giant.
And he
Maybe
looked-
somebody soul bonded to them and they use him to fly around on.
and he looked up and he said, and he says, looking up into the sky with his hands sort of held out, he says, Blaiptar, fire. And above his head, you see, at about regular cloud height, a cloud forms. But at dusk, still, was a relatively calm day, skywise, all white clouds. The cloud that forms above him is a raging black and gray storm cloud. And for the rest of his turn, he leans down and picks up what you assumed was like a broken pillar or something when you were Beetle Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But you now see it looks like it is a trebuchet missile, basically fused with a second one, and it is essentially a giant spear. And then that is the end of the giant's turn. Next up, it is all of the bowmen on the wall. Suspicious, these two leave the fog cloud and come over and do witness you, but the rest of them just stay and pour arrows in. So these two are going to fire at disadvantage at Khalid. Okay, they do not hit. So their arrows just go wide over the wall as you move, Khalid. And next up, it would be your turn, Khalid.
Okay, so if I look over the edge here, is there anything that feels like I can jump down? Like, is there stuff I can climb on?
Does not really seem like it. Seems like it is the same sheer wall type of thing. These walls are thick enough that any of the buildings that a normal fort would need seem to be included in them.
Okay. And there's no ladders or anything? How do these guys get up here?
There is a flight of stairs, but
Okay.
it is over by the portcullis. Sorry, let me draw that.
Yeah, there's also the stairs that we took.
We took stairs?
Inside the fort.
Inside.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, do you have rope, Khalid?
Not 120 feet worth.
Or probably 50 feet.
Yeah. I'll move. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 right here.
Okay. So you just dash
Double
up.
move. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, these fellas down by the pit work on them chains. Doesn't seem like they have a reaction as if something got hit inside of the pit by an arrow. But after that, it is Jackson's turn.
I also am going to double move. Now I already lost my place for it. Right there. Okay. And then my turn.
Okay. Yeah, these wide sections are just like basically large platforms, like on a wall that is normally like it's 15 feet deep. Then there's a larger section where it seems like multiple soldiers could wait at a time. But
There's no cover on this.
all of them have like battlements,
Okay.
but those
So
are
along the whole wall there are battlements.
yes,
It's
Okay,
facing
gotcha.
the outside, though, right?
yes, those protect you from stuff outside of the fort.
Sure.
Okay, next up, we go back to the top of the order. You hear a bang as if a battering ram hits the gates.
Nice.
Next up, it is Zakar.
Okay, I'm going to shoot at the same guy again. This time, however, I'm not going to try to do it with sharpshooter.
Sure.
And that is
16 hits.
16 to hit, 11 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, you hit him and he falls into the pit, carrying some of the chains with him.
Nice.
Um,
Wilhelm scream.
He does. And he actually pulls one of the other guys down in, and it when he falls in, you see that there is some rabid movement inside.
Hell yeah.
It's the ogres.
Ogres in them pits.
All right, act like you've never played D&D before.
Well, actually, we're acting like we played one other game of D&D in which we were told he had ogres.
He has ogres. Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, listen.
And I'm gonna run 30 feet here.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. Next up, it is... the gate seems to get bashed again, and you can see, at least Biff, you can see that there is some, like, splintering in the wood going on.
Okay.
And
Is it
it
my
is
turn?
Biff's turn.
I am going to dash. Let's see, I can go there. I'm just gonna yell at Khalid, "Open the gate!" That's it.
Okay. Then, next up, it is the giant's turn. And he is going to reach up with his open right hand. And he reaches into that cloud and pulls down a crackling blue lightning bolt as long as his spear. And he walks forward to behind all of his archer soldiers and throws the lightning bolt over the wall. And you hear a whole bunch of screaming as what seems like, the lightning bolt would have hit. You hear these screams, and then immediately after, you hear a massive boom of thunder. Just a big...
Oh, shit.
And then he just says something in a language none of you speak. Basically just sounds like... Next up, Khalid, it's your go. Oh wait, no, it's the bowman's turn. Sorry. These guys pour a little more arrows into the weakened army below, and then these two guys in front of you, one of them is going to step back out of your range, so if you're using your trident, right, Khalid?
Nope, I'm using my Guandao.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know if he stays in your range, actually. And then he is going to fire at you.
Well, okay.
If he starts in his range and steps out, though, right?
But the Guandao has a range of 10 feet.
Yeah,
So
he
if
hasn't
was
left
within-
his melee range.
Yeah.
I see.
But since he's in melee range to a guy wielding a reach weapon, he should have disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Would he have them on people other than Khalid? I don't think he would. I think it would only be on
No,
Khalid.
but the whole thing is that he's being harassed by a melee weapon, so that's what makes it harder to use a ranged
Yeah.
weapon point blank.
That makes sense.
And so,
Yeah, that's true.
I think-
He is still going to fire at Khalid. Lower roll was a 19.
That hits.
Damn.
Yeah, no one else in this fight is going to roll that well. 6 points of piercing damage.
All right.
His friend is going to fire past you at Biff, also disadvantage. His highest roll was a 5, so that's not very good.
Yep,
I'm
that'll
going
do.
to.
What are you going to do, Khalid?
I'm going to use my reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature that attacked.
Okay.
Because I have Sentinel.
Oh, okay.
18.
18 hits. 12. Yeah. You slash.
14.
So was that the one who attacked you or the other guy?
That's the one that attacked Biff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you kill him and you brush him through the battlements over the wall.
Cool.
With just a cool slash moving your hand so that the Guandao, the most of the haft goes behind your back.
Does he have a bonus action to open the gate?
Unfortunately, no, but it
Not
is
my
now
turn.
Khalid's full
that
turn.
was his reaction.
It is now Khalid's turn.
Oh, okay.
I mean, is opening the gate a good idea?
Yeah, we'll be able
Definitely.
to distract them with the rest of this army.
The giant's right there. You know,
But the
just
giant's gonna attack him with the lightning.
yeah, I guess
anyways.
you're right. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
we
open
gotta
the,
open it so they can attack him.
I'll open the gate.
Okay. You turn, and you three back here see the gate open inward, and the legionnaires and their commander rush inside. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I sent you to your death.
We should try and clear out these
Just more money
archers
for
to help
us.
them.
It is now Jackson's turn.
We should try and clear out these archers to help them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to run just my 30 feet. So 30 feet to here. I'll use my actions to create a little symbol, and a golden circle comes out of it, and I throw my fingers through the thing, like my whole hand with my fingers outstretched, and these 4 dancing lights shoot out directly at. I'll put a little paint circle where they go, right around the giant's eyes.
Okay.
And I use my bonus action to make them all like exchange places, so they're swirling around his eyes.
Yeah.
Nice.
He starts to kind of bat at it, and it's only the one eye because his other eye is
They're a good point.
a socket. So you actually have them clustered together. So it's actually more effective than it might have been otherwise. And he just kind of goes. Okay, that's Jackson's turn.
Jackson uses dancing lights. It's super effective.
Back to the top of the order. These legionnaires rush on in. There we go. Zakar, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to. I guess I'm going to shoot at one of these archers. I guess the furthest one away.
Sure.
And I'm going to just do a regular longbow attack. And it's loading. 23 to hit.
Hits.
And 4 piercing damage.
Okay. He's still standing.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I can hear in your voice where you're like doing the math of like, oh, sharpshooter would have hit.
Yeah. And then I'm going to move 30 feet back the other way. That's my turn.
Okay. Next up in the order, it's Biff.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's Tiberius
Okay.
and his other legion. And they rush in, and they are just close enough that they actually get to attack. You see Tiberius slash a glowing gladius across the shins of this giant.
It's a pretty short sword.
It is. He has to
Code
get
for
really
penis. Also means penis.
close. All right.
Biff would know that.
He does an all right amount of damage. And his legion approaches, and the legion are represented by the number of men left in it. That's the HP. It's not really a legion individually; it's just a unit. They approach, they attack, they hit. That's a shock. They do okay damage. And that is their turn. So now it is your turn, Beth.
Alright. Alright. I'm going to use Hideous Laughter on this giant,
Okay.
which could be extra hideous. We shall see. So it has to make a DC 14 Wisdom.
Okay.
Or it falls prone, laughing.
He succeeds.
Oh, god damn it.
What do you say? What do you do to try to get him to laugh, though?
I mean, nothing's successful, so it's got to be a bad joke. Just a Michael Wormuth joke.
All right, that's
It's a deep cut.
that's
but...
inside bullying baseball.
Sorry. He's transphobic, so who cares?
That's fair. You do a joke, doesn't land. Some people leave, and giant is unaffected.
Alright, well, that's the last of my spell slots. So.
Stop that! You're gonna walk one of these groups of legionnaires.
The dragon that I had planned is just like, man, what's the point of even coming to this mic? You do that, and then it is the giant's turn.
I'm gonna move also.
And the giant, it looks like he head bashes through the dancing lights, and then it seems like he is really frustrated to see that it was a spell, and he makes an attack with disadvantage with his big ass spear. Still is gonna hit, and he basically just rams that spear through the gate, trying to kill as many of the legionnaires as they pull through. So let's see how many he takes out. I'm going to roll it in the chat so that the viewing public gets to see how he does.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a lot. He takes out more than half of this legion.
Yeah.
Or more than half of this unit.
But not the main guy, right?
No, Tiberius kind of actually, the spear stays where it is. So for his next turn, he'll do something.
Okay.
Next up, Qualid, it's your go. No, sorry, Bowman's turn.
Yep, Bowman.
This guy is going to jump back so that he will,
All right.
he will get an attack of opportunity, but it will be a disadvantage because he's in the fog cloud.
Well,
Or with dancing lights, does dancing lights... Yeah, I think dancing lights undoes fog cloud, right?
No, it doesn't. It's not concentration. I have to wait until my turn to drop concentration.
But the attack of opportunity would happen here, right? It would happen before he moves out of my range.
Yeah, and so I think you would get it. And I think it looks like both of them are concentration from your spell cards.
Oh, you know what? You're right. So when I cast Dancing Light, that fog cloud disappeared.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong part of the spell card.
No problem. So yeah, Qualid gets an attack, no disadvantage.
15.
15, that hits.
Okay.
How do I erase what I already drew?
11 damage, and he can't move away from me.
12 damage.
Yeah, 12. No, it's in the damage. Sorry, I put the +1.
And 11, that is just enough. You have killed this man.
Okay, well, he also can't move away from me.
Okay. Next up, that is his turn. These other archers turn and start to pour arrows over, but with the fog cloud gone, these two who are closest and not asleep seem to notice you all. This one rushes forward and wakes his buddy, but this one is going to get over there and fire at Biff.
Okay.
It is a 14 to hit.
Is it my turn before that, though?
Does
no,
not
sorry,
hit.
the archers are 11 in the initiative order.
Okay.
That misses.
Okay. Flies past you, and maybe he thought you were a taller man. And now, Qualid, it is your turn.
Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay, I will walk right up into those three. And I'll attack this one.
Yeah.
No, I'll attack that one.
Oh,
Critical hit.
Natural 20.
And 2 more. So I think that kills him probably, right?
Yep. You kill him, and his body is sliced in twain. The legs staying up top on the walls, but the torso and head falling over the wall.
I fucking love this Guandao!
Now, Qualid will be telling people it's not a glaive, it's a Guandao. Okay, that was Qualeed's turn. Next up, the final guy by the pit does his own thing, and it doesn't seem to be working. And then Jackson, it's your go.
Okay. I will move to here, and I will use my bonus action to move the dancing lights to get in the giant's eyes again. If they are still there, like if they haven't moved much, they will swirl around and distract even more than they were before. And my normal action, I will use the defensive stance action or dodge action, whatever it's called, and end my turn.
Okay. And there we go. Now we will go back to the top of the order, and it is the Legion's turn, and they finally get to move in. These two do, and they will make their attacks. First one hits, second one misses. So they're all of their weapons just seem to glance off and have no effect. And the first one does not too much damage to the big guy. By the way, these two legions, they seem to be down a number of members. Probably from the lightning. These two units who just moved.
Okay.
And after that, Zakar, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to move another 30 feet back. Which puts me here. And I'm going to shoot at the giant this time with sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And 7 to hit. Jeez.
You fire that, and it seems to just glance off of something that's below his large cloak.
Sure.
That cloak. Who the hell made that cloak, huh?
It's very impressive. Yeah.
And unfortunately, just doesn't work.
Okay, that's my turn.
Next up, you all look down and you see that running up the spear that is still lowered is Tiberius.
Whoa!
Basically just sprinting up as a little halfling. And he dashes and basically jumps onto some, like, rings along his hand before his turn is over. So that is his turn. And the legion that is with him that are severely down, they attack. They just barely hit. They do maximum damage for what they have left. Giant is still going very strong.
Sorry, Ben, could I have said something during my turn too?
Yeah.
Could I have yelled out to, like, regroup, get in formation, like trying to, like, bring the legionnaires so that they are, like, in formation, and maybe that'll help them do more damage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get a re-rack in the spear pong game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see.
I mean, they might not listen to me, but yeah.
I don't even think you would get a persuasion check. They just heard someone who's not their commanding officer.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they might. Who knows? Okay. And next up, Biff.
Alright, I'm going to move next to this guy and attack with my rapier.
Sure.
14.
14 hits. He is still prone. He's still down. I did not put that marker on.
I'll just see if I get crit here.
Yeah.
No, either way.
No, but still almost. So
five piercing damage.
Okay, yeah, he is bloodied.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, and that's your turn. Next up, it will be the giant. The giant is going to lift up his spear, and he is going to see all of you up on the wall, and he is going to attack with his hand. He is going to lift his hand and try and bring it down on the wall. I need you to make dexterity saving throws.
I'm scared too.
All right. Oh, Jackson, you're safe. Sorry. I don't know if I pulsed for Khalid and Biff. Basically, his hand just slams down. Biff, you manage to dance out of the way. So you move 10 feet back. Khalid, you and both of the archers do get smashed, and he doesn't seem to be going as hard as he is because he could have probably crumbled the wall. You do feel the wall starting to break and kind of give way underneath you as he squeezes. But you are going to take... you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage from his hand smashing down on you. But then he removes it before the end of his turn and lifts his spear from the ground.
Do I get an attack of opportunity when he moves his hand?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
But you would be prone, I think.
Am I prone?
Yeah, I think you would get knocked prone, sorry.
Yeah, smashed.
Okay.
Sorry. Just one more
No,
time.
it's okay. And I rolled the wrong weapon too, so ignore it all. Or wait, what am I doing? Am I doing it with disadvantage? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, attack of opportunity with disadvantage.
I'll do it with the right weapon then. Poof.
You swipe up with your Guandao and it just does not connect.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And that is the giant's turn. Next up, it is the archers. These archers are dead. And these archers are seemingly still focusing on these guys below. So next up, it is
Me.
Khalid.
Okay, I am going to use my action to touch myself. I'm going to give myself 10 hit points. Lay on hands. And then I will... That will be it. I'll use my bonus action since this is the last turn I have Divine Favor. I will cast Wrathful Smite.
Okay, yeah. Sure. And there you go. You got it up. Next up, Jackson.
Oh, good timing. Oh boy. I'm afraid to go onto the same area that they were just on. Yeah, I will full run. Sorry, I just moved one space. So I can move to there. And that's it. I'm going to use... And then my bonus action, I swirl the dancing lights again.
Okay, yeah. Then we will go back to the top of the order. These guys combine their strength. And then they make an attack. And none of them seem to have done anything very effective. Next up, Zakar.
Okay. Can I run onto this area? Just for reference?
Which area? Yes, you could.
One thing. Okay. Alright, so I am going to keep running this way.
Yeah, sorry,
And-
I'm zoomed in. So
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'm going to shoot at the giant again. This time, just regular, without sharpshooter.
There's Hunter's Mark there, right?
Yeah, there's Hunter's Mark on him. So, and it's loading. 17 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. And that is 5 points of piercing, and then an additional 4 points from Hunter's Mark.
Okay, yeah, he notices that you have shot him.
Oh, that's not good.
He kind of goes... okay, next up, Tiberius is going to swing himself up on them rings, and he runs up his arm, and then right as it seems like the giant has noticed him, he sort of goes to his knees and just stabs that gladius into the giant's arm.
Shadow Colossus style. I like it.
That is exactly what it looks like.
Did it hit the glowing mark?
Seems like he does, because blood just starts
Beautiful.
spurting out of it. And it looks like the giant is now in looking pretty rough territory.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. Next up, Biff, it's your go.
All right. I am going to move up here and viciously mock the giant. Be like, hey, short stuff. Looks like you're looking pretty rough.
Okay. He
He
succeeds.
hates rhymes.
He succeeds? God
Yeah.
damn, he's so wise. All right, that's fine.
Sorry. Next up, it is.
It's
his
because
turn.
he gave his eye to those 2 ravens we killed,
Yeah,
so
that's
that he
fair.
could gain wisdom.
He's an
Well,
Odin giant.
He actually. I'm going to say you've cast it twice. You get the feeling that even though he is above a 4 in intelligence, something has happened very recently that makes it very difficult for him to understand that he's being insulted.
Oh, okay.
But he is going to move with the.
He must have gotten a new haircut or something that he's
Yeah.
proud of.
And he gets attacks of opportunity from both of the legions, who both hit. Nice job, soul buddies. They do pretty good for their.
No.
Nice.
And he moves over here, and he is going to lift his spear, and he is actually going to bash it down on the wall right here,
Right where?
above Zakar.
Okay.
You just don't want to have to zoom out on your map, Ben. That's fine.
I pulsed on it. I understand. I do need you to make a dexterity save.
Okay. Let me do that. 18.
Okay, you managed to make it back, so you'll take half damage as some of the rocks crack and fly back at you like shrapnel. So you take 3 points of piercing damage. Just a rock whizzes out and hits you in the face.
Ooh.
As this entire wall crumbles beneath the might of his blow. Let me make a little box here. You will have to jump if you would like to make it across here. And that is his turn. That is. I'm gonna start calling him by his name. His name is Wotarn. That is Wotarn's turn.
Wotarn.
Next up, it is the bowman's turn. They are going to fire down here. The one of the units, all of their men have died.
Tragic.
Not the ones that merged. Next up in the order, it is Khalid.
Okay, I'm gonna run here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna kick this guy off the wall. Can I just do a shove attack?
Yeah.
Let me see. Would that just be a strength?
Yeah, I think it's a athletics check.
Athletics.
Yeah.
So you still get that +2.
It should be a contest, right?
So 14.
Yep, you have shoved him off the wall.
Yay.
Nice.
And then I'll keep trucking. I'll move here.
Okay. And next up in the order, this Axeman runs over, sees the Legionnaires, and he's going to start booking it out. Jackson, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action get those lights a swirling again in his eyes. They're probably not working anymore, but I'm not giving up on it. I'm going to come to the very edge of the thing and open up my neon green ring and blow out some more poison spray onto his shoulder.
Okay.
It's
He
thinking.
fails his check.
Okay, he takes 11 poison damage,
Nice.
and I move right back to where I was.
Okay. He takes that 11 poison damage. That is your turn. Next up, it is this Legion. They're going to ignore the Axeman to go after the big old giant. They do not do anything effective. Zakar, it's your turn.
Okay. Is it part of my movement to jump over it, or is it?
It would be
Could it
movement.
be okay. And it's 10 feet that I would have to jump?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll try.
Okay.
We can naturally jump half your movement, right?
You jump, I believe it is strength, proficiency
10.
strength modifier plus 10
Yeah.
if it's a running jump.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I'll just jump across and I'll probably just make it there then.
Yeah.
Because I have +2 to strength, so that would be 12 feet.
Sure.
And then I will shoot again.
Okay.
And again, just regular longbow, not sharpshooter. It's 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Then next up, it is our Tiberius, our halfling friend, and you actually see that he jumps over to the robe and starts to climb down, not making an attack this turn.
He's going for the dick.
Go for the dick!
Biff yells.
It's his weakness.
Next
Go
up,
for the dick!
Biff, it's
Get
your
him in the
turn.
penis prot.
It's glowing!
His dick is penis brought. That's that character. It's an NPC.
Yeah, it's like how Athena was like birthed from Zeus's forehead, and like Prot was birthed from
his foreskin.
Wotarn's dong.
Alright, I'm gonna move next to this guy and attack with my rapier here.
Okay,
For 12.
12 hits,
Alright, for 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, that guy's bloodied.
Alright.
Next up, in the order, it is Bowman's turn. This guy is going to come over here, and he's going to try to fire at you, Biff. So you get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And so do I.
24. For 11 damage.
Doesn't matter if you have an attack of opportunity, because it doesn't matter. This guy right next to you, he is going to try to shove you, Khalid.
Okay. Bring it.
I need you to make an athletics check. With
Uh-huh.
+2.
Oh,
Okay, he grabs you, and you can grapple him if you choose, because it is such a vast difference between your score and his.
Can I shove him back?
Uh,
Or just grapple? I'm fine with grappling.
You can
Let's
grapple
grapple.
him,
I
and as a
grapple.
bonus action, you can shove him on your next turn.
Okay. Which is next?
Yeah, which is next, so it's your turn.
Yeah. I'm going to shove him.
Okay. Wow. Yep, he goes
I don't
toppling
shove
over
him.
the
I
edge.
throw him.
Yeah.
I royal
Lift
level
him over your head and toss him off.
Military press.
The hell in the cell.
Yep, you have tossed him over, and now you can descend the stairs if you so choose.
Yep, I'm going to do that. Is there a banister? I'm going to slide down it. I assume there is one.
There is not one. Yeah, you could get about there.
Yeah.
It turns out his mask is a snowboard. They just glide down.
It's
I
like
used
when
it as
Legolas does
in
that
lines.
shield trick in Lord of the Rings. Okay, the Axeman disappears. Jackson, it's your turn.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did last round, so I'm gonna move here and attempt the poison spray again.
Okay.
DC 14.
He fails.
He takes 3 poison damage, and then I move back to where I came from.
He is bloodied. From that 3 poison damage.
The,
It's okay. If he moves half a square away, I won't be able to do that anymore.
Okay.
Also, I do the dazzling lights in his eyes, whatever.
Okay. Next up, it is Legion turn. Back top of the order. They attack. They hit. Okay. Then Zakar, it's your turn.
okay. I'm going to continue to track behind him. I'll get to about here, And I will shoot again without sharpshooter with my longbow. And that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
And 10 points of piercing.
Nice.
And he is still hunter's marked, so an additional 3.
Okay.
13
nice.
altogether.
Yeah, you chip off a lot from this glacier. Next up, it is Tiberius. He is going to climb down to about the knee, basically like pulling up hair, leg hair.
He has a huge dick. Jesus.
Go for the head, huh?
And he is going to stab him from here.
And I yell, I said I was a big fan of Brisses. This is canon now.
Tiberius is the Moyle.
He does a whole lot of damage. And next up, it is Biff's turn.
Alright, I'll move here. And about all I can do from this range is viciously mock, even though he doesn't seem to be too susceptible to it. But hey, that strike on your knee was way far away from your dick, right?
Alright, well, everybody knows what that means, so he takes 2 points of psychic
Oh,
damage.
right. It has disadvantage on his next roll.
And he has disadvantage on the next roll, which is his, when he is going to reach up into the cloud that is above his head and pull down another massive crackling bolt of blue lightning.
Oh man, why'd you stand right next to me when you did your roast?
Well, he has disadvantage at least.
And he lifts it and throws it at the two of you.
That doesn't do anything if you guys are making saves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. His lowest roll is a 15.
Oh, that doesn't hit me. It's not a save. It's an attack.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't hit me.
Yeah, it hits me.
Okay. So you're gonna take. You take 19 points of lightning damage.
Alright, well, I'm -2.
Okay.
Fall down, knocked out.
Alright, Biff falls on the stairs. Knocked out. Knocked unconscious. Up next, it is Khalid's go, because there's no more archers.
Okay.
Wish we had given Quali the healing potion at this point.
Well, he knows that there's one on you, right?
Yeah, he could take one from my belt, I guess.
Oh. But that's my whole turn.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, I'll feed him his potion.
Okay, so Brian roll 2d4 plus 2.
You get 5 health.
5 health.
Alright.
Alright, Biff, you're back up. Then you can go ahead and take your movement.
Yep. I'm gonna go right there.
Swear we're almost across the finish line. Next up, Jackson.
One more time into the breach.
And it's 14, right?
Yep.
Son of a bitch, he fails again.
9 poison damage. And I move back where I came from. And I make the dancing lights swirl in his eyes again.
I like that you're like poisoning his waist at this point.
Pretty much. Now,
I'm getting his dong.
Yeah, you give him syphilis when you do that.
top of the order, the Legion attacks. They do max damage. And it is Zakar's turn. He is looking pretty rough beyond blood. Like, he's looking pretty fucked up. For what he started at, he's looking pretty fucked up. He is wavering with his giant form now.
Because of all of Nathaniel's cantrips. You son of a bitch.
Zakar, it's your turn.
Okay, I went ahead and moved 30 feet and missed the giant in front of me somehow. But it's my turn.
You fire, and it just it glances off of something inside of that coat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining that I'm hitting him, and it's just not actually, like, the little arrows aren't doing anything to him.
Yeah.
So.
He's got a callus where you hit him. Next up, Biff. Or no, wait, sorry, Tiberius. Tiberius is going to drop onto his foot, taking a little bit of damage.
Yeah, get them giant feet, boy.
And he does not
You know how I
respond
like it.
to your fetish, and he is going to make an attack as he falls. Yeah, the giant certainly does not look good after that. Waleed, or no, sorry, Biff.
All right. I'm going to move.
So you're
here.
prone, so you have to use 15
Oh,
movement to
sure.
get up. And
Okay.
another 3.
So
Or another. Yeah, 3 for you.
move.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna move here and drink another healing potion.
Okay.
2d4 plus 2.
And then next up, it will be Khalid.
Okay. So I'm gonna swing at him. I'm gonna do everything here. Yeah. So 23. I'm gonna do Divine Smite, and so it's an extra 2d8.
Yep.
So let's do it all. Oh damn, 6. 6 plus 2d8. So that's 21 plus. That's it. 21.
I'm gonna say that he is turned enough that Khalid basically goes up and cuts his Achilles tendon. I almost said hamstrings him. But basically goes up, and with divine fury backing up that Guandao strike, you rake it across that tendon that leads up into the calf, and it just starts to gush blood, so
Hell yeah.
dark red that it's almost purple. And the giant goes and falls forward, crashing over this part of the wall, barely missing Jackson. Jackson, make a dexterity saving throw. 9, okay. You take 12 points of piercing damage as rocks
Oh,
fly up and
I'm nearly knocked out.
hit you all across your body as the giant falls onto this part of the wall, and it just crumbles beneath his weight. And the dark cloud that was overhead dissipates. And then, all of a sudden, you hear thunder, then thunder, then thunder, until every second seems to be met with another boom.
And then cats.
And then
Sorry.
lightning strikes all around you. And the worst monsoon any of your characters have ever seen begins above you. And that's where we'll
Whoa.
end our session for today.
No.
Oh no! Okay.
It's a monsoon.
I thought a monsoon was the same thing as a tidal wave or a hurricane.
No, it's extremely heavy rain. It's a rainstorm.
Oh yeah, it's monsoon season in Africa, which is away from oceans.
Um,
Okay,
Okay, so
I buy it. I buy it.
I'm glad that it meets with your approval. So this session was a whole lot of fun. Look
Oh, yeah.
forward
Yeah.
to seeing you all viewers Wednesday when the A team will be going after a certain cannibal wizard. But
Wait, we're not called the A team?
No, you all are Team 1.
Okay. That checks out. I like it.
And so I will see you all there. None of these fellas will see you there, but everybody in this game will be in one game next week.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah.